The sounds of the Wilkes University Marching Band here live from Schmidt Stadium on a cool and somewhat cool, little overcast here day in northeastern Pennsylvania, getting ready for Wilkes football in the 2018 football season. I'm Tom Ferguson. Thanks so much for joining us here on YouTube Live with the John Mendola Show, and also, of course, on Wilkes University's athletics site. We are bringing you the sights and the sounds, of course, from Schmidt Stadium as we get you ready for the start of the 2018 football season with Wilkes University, the Colonels, playing host to the Hartwick Hawks to open their slate for 2018, looking for some positives to take here in the opening matchup with Hartwick. It's an interesting season here for Wilkes, to say the least. The head coach, Jonathan Drock, his first season here for Wilkes University as he gets things started up here. He's in charge and had to bring a whole new feeling, if you will, to campus, and he's got a young, talented group of players, almost 75% sophomores and freshmen for Wilkes, returning. Not a ton of experience coming back. Well, some of them have experience, but is it the right kind of experience? It was up to his coaching staff after he got hired in February to kind of figure that stuff out and try to get them ready for the 2018 season. They've got a junior quarterback in Jose Tabor who got injured last year, who they're bringing back, injured in the second game last year, who will be expected to lead their team and expected to kind of give them a boost and opportunity here to try to make some things happen for Wilkes. And they're taking on a Hartwick Hawks team that's coming off a 3-7 season. Last year they lost a couple of their top rushers, 3 of their top receivers. They don't have a returning player that has thrown a pass so far this year. So they threw a pass last season. So we'll see kind of how Hartwick puts things together. These two teams starting their 2018 off against each other. Hartwick, a really good offensive team, even with that 3-7 record. They know how to put up points. Wilkes did not have a great offensive season last year. We'll see what changes Coach Drock can bring to the Wilkes Colonels offense and how they can adjust to that. We got a chance to sit down and talk with Coach Drock earlier this week, kind of about his experience at Wilkes and how he thinks he's starting to fit in on campus.
Great. I think that the administration has been super receptive to some of the changes and whatnot that we've made. I think that the general overall environment of the climate in the school has been fantastic. I think they want a program that's going to win. They're doing the things that we need to do to take us to that point at this time. I definitely think that we're excited going into the fall, and right now we're at a place where we just need to continue to improve, and that goes from our coaching staff, administration, all the way up.
Obviously, 0-10 team last year. I think that's something new for even Wilkes too. Their history, that hasn't happened very often. So you're starting kind of at ground zero. What did you see from last year's team that you think can be built on and can be improved after this year?
I think that limiting some of those turnovers and whatnot, I think is a huge aspect of it. Just being efficient offensively and efficient defensively and stopping the run. I think if we can do those two things, take care of the football and stop the run, you're going to find that you're in a whole lot more games. You'll be playing the games in the fourth quarter, and there are opportunities to win. I think those are the big things we need to just change off of film from last year. And then we just need to continue to improve across the board as far as recruiting goes, as far as talent within the football program, as far as coaching and executing. I think all those things need to continue to improve as we move forward if we're going to get where we want to go.
Your philosophy, it's interesting. I feel like it kind of flies in the face of what's popular in college football. A lot of spread it out, throw the football around, try to push the tempo. That's not necessarily what you want to bring offensively. What are the advantages you think that's going to bring with that slower tempo, more power football? What's the advantage you think that's going to bring for Wilkes?
I think for us right now, it's catering to our strengths as far as the football team goes. It's one, playing very, very good defense, and two, controlling the football and controlling the pace of the game. If we play very, very fast, sometimes you put teams in the field very, very fast, and depth is not one of our major strong attributes at this point. Right. So if you have a very, very deep football team, you can do that and rotate a lot of people in, and you can put a lot of stress on people. Right now, we're not probably as deep as we would like to be, so we need to slow the football game down a little bit, which is fine. There's lots of ways to skin a cat, and this is just another one of them. I've played in every system we can possibly imagine, so we've played very, very spread out football, and that's what we did actually last year at Hobart. Right. And then we played very, very slow as well. You know what I mean? I think that you have to cater to to your individuals more than anything and value your talent and what you're good at. If we can do that on a consistent basis and a week-to-week basis, we'll continue to improve.
How do you feel like the team's buying in so far to the program?
I think they're doing good. I think that they were hungry for change as well. And I don't think they were satisfied with their outcomes last year at all either.
Right.
This philosophy is a difficult philosophy for the fact that you're not going to see rewards instantly. I think instant gratification across the board with young people right now is a trending theme. Everyone wants reactions. They want reactions right now, whether it's a like on Twitter or a tweet on whatever. I think that instant gratification flies in the face of that because we don't do that.
Right.
It takes a long time to build the processes accordingly to be able to get to a point where we're able to be successful continuously.
We're talking with Coach Jonathan Drock here on the Wilkes football pregame show, getting ready for their matchup with Hartwick. And Coach Jose Tabor coming back from injury. How's he looking to you so far? What can he provide for you off that position?
He's done very, very well. He's in a great quarterback battle right now with a couple of young guys that have really pushed each other on a day-to-day basis. They've continued to make each other improve. They've understood that taking over a brand new system and what it asked of them is definitely different than what they asked for them before as far as movements go, as far as thinking goes. They have to be the catalyst out there. And I think that's one of the big ways that Jose's kind of taken the lead now is that his energy and his ability to control situations on top of his athleticism have really started to take over for him. He doesn't think quite so much, and now the athleticism can come through with positive decision-making as well.
I feel like there's a good mix there because you got Jose, we got Wade, Rubion, who saw a lot of time last year as well, so you got good experience and also, like you said, some good young guys pushing too.
So Wade has done a great job at camp, and then Jake Katz and Heath Lever and Doug Reist have all done an excellent job and continue to improve as the fall has gone on. And I think you'll probably actually see some of those young guys throughout the course of the season as well.
Is anybody standing out so far running back-wise? I know obviously that power game's probably going to rely a lot on run. Not a ton of experience back, but a lot of talent hopefully here.
Absolutely. I think that Baron Trent has done a great job for us on the backfield, and he was with us all spring, and he really knows the system. I wouldn't consider Brandon to be super flashy, but he's definitely a workman, and he does a great job of getting the tough yards and always being in the right positions, and just has a natural knack for space and feeling holes and that kind of thing. And then you're probably going to see some freshmen there in that mix as well, between Kelvin Gonzalez and Jason Wiley, and we're going to see some young blood there too.
Some young blood also the receiving corps, but you also have some talent and experience returning. Stevie and Yannick were big parts of the offense last year for Wilkes. What's kind of their roles in this new offense?
I think that they'll both flourish in this offense. Obviously, if we get some people to start to pack the box and some a little bit running football, those guys will have some more one-on-one matchups maybe than they have in the past. I think that for them right now, just learning the system in general, like everybody, it's learning a completely different language, and that language happens to go with actions as well. So it definitely took them some time to get up to speed, but they're now to a point where they can enact those things very quickly. And then you're going to see some young guys too, between Derek Nelson and Rich Ermias and Andrew Seymour and Juan Osnagon, that are going to do some pretty good things for us as well at the receiver position.
Talking with Coach Jonathan Drock here at the Wilkes football pregame show, getting ready for Hartwick, the first game of the 2018 season. Coach, defensively, what can Wilkes Colonel fans expect to see? This was a team that gave up a lot of points and a lot of yards last year, but they have some returning experience. They have some players that I think with that experience can kind of step up. What can fans expect to see defensively?
Again, I think it's going to be a mix of some older guys, some juniors and seniors, but then also some fresh young blood. I would imagine that we'll probably start at least one freshman corner, and there's going to be some freshmen rotating in the defensive backfield and the safety positions as well. You're going to see some young guys up front as well. I think that's a general theme for us right now. About 75% of our team is young. So you're going to see some guys rotate in, and we're going to do more rotating than we have in the past. It's not just going to be the same guys out there all the time, so you'll see a lot of different numbers flying through. Would be a different front and a different scheme altogether. You know what I mean? And that was one of the things that we kind of changed last year. We were more of a stack and a three-man front. You'll see us in a three-man front. You'll see us in a four-man front. You'll see us in a five-man front. So we're going to mix it up a little bit as far as that goes more, with an emphasis obviously on stopping the run, but being sound as a whole, eliminating big plays altogether, and making teams have to drive length of the field and do that consistently. 12 and 13 play drives now in college football are very, very difficult to come by. And if you can keep people off the chains a little bit and keep them behind them, usually can get them off the field.
Hartwick had a tough year last year, too. They had a ton of offense. You were actually part of the win Hobart had against them last year on the road. What are your thoughts on them as a football team right now?
Coach Carter does a great job of coaching and teaching that football team. They're always super dynamic on offense, and whether it was Bill Pine or Jason Boltis before that, they've always had somebody that can get back there and sling it. So I would imagine that they'll have somebody step into that role again this year and not be much different. I think that the graduation of Corey Reed is an extremely special player. He's one of the best receivers in Division III over the last 3 years. That'll be very, very difficult for them to replace. But besides that, they return a lot on defense. I think we have 7 starters on the defensive side of the ball, and they're very, very solid there. They're going to be big and strong. They'll probably have 2 or 3 inches on us across the board, and they're probably going to be 40, 50 pounds heavier at some of those positions as well. We're going to have to rely on our speed and our quickness and our agility to create some pressure on the front and recreate that line of scrimmage. And then we're going to have to do a great job of matching up on the edge when we have chances to play one-on-ones and make plays in the secondary. I think that'll be the big key. If we can get pressure with a 4-man rush without creating pressure every time by blitzing, we'll be having a game there.
How excited are you to just get started, to get out there on the field and hit somebody else?
It'd be nice. I think we had a little bit of a taste of that last week against Susquehanna. That was great. I think it was really, really good for the kids. We're to the point now where they put a lot of hard work into this. This started back in February, and when we took over, they started studying and learning a brand new system, and then we put them through the ringer in the spring, and then we really beat them up pretty good in the fall. So the guys that are with us are here to stay, and I think that for them, they're ready to get going, and we're ready to see some of their progress. You know what I mean? I think that's part of it. They need to see some of the steps that they've made in a positive direction from the work that they've put in. Is it all going to be there yet? No, because this is a long building process. At the same time, there's definitely going to be some notable improvements, I think, from where we were last fall to this fall.
Well, that'll be what we see here at Hartwick, the first opponent on the schedule for Wilkes as we kick off the 2018 season. Coach Scott, appreciate your time and good luck.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So Coach Jonathan Trott joining us there on the Wilkes football pregame show, getting us ready for kickoff here. Hartwick won the toss, and they have elected to receive. So we'll get our first look at the Wilkes defense here for the Colonels. The Hartwick Hawks, the head coach Mark Carr, his 17th season at the helm. He's the offensive coordinator, 65-93 in his career at the helm for the Hartwick Hawks. It's Darmetko and Scottman, the 2 sophomores, back to receive inside their own 5-yard line. Ball set up by David Cutteroff, one of many freshmen and sophomores getting a start here for Wilkes. Wilkes in the home blue uniforms. They've got the gold pants, the gold trim, the white numbers, the gold helmets, and the W flag on those helmets. The 2018 season is underway. It's a high end-over-end kick taken on the far side, the 10-yard line, trying to move to the right side across the 20 and down near the 24-yard line. Returning that was Darmetko, and we'll get our first look at the Hartwick Hawks offense. Hartwick, a team that averaged 29 points per game last season, 408 yards of offense per game. They throw the ball 310.5 yards per game last year, but they return a quarterbacking stable that has not thrown, or that did not throw a pass last season. So a bit of a pistol look from just inside the 25-yard line. 2 receivers set. Messina going to hand this one off. It's a good draw play up the middle for Hartwick across the 30-yard line and out near the 32. Ballard taking that one for 8 yards. Actually, they're going to give him 9 out to the 33-yard line. So a good start there for Hartwick. The Wilkes defense last year had a tough time against the run, 185 yards per game against. They gave up nearly 40 points per game. 2 receivers to the top of the formation this time. It's another pistol look with Messina, the sophomore from Syracuse. He gets the snap. He's going to hand it off to try to run off the right side with Ballard once again. He's hit. He does have a first down out to the 36-yard line, but good pursuit there from Wilkes as Amari Peterson comes up with a stop.
Peterson in on the stop along with Boyer.
So along the defensive front for Wilkes, the defensive ends, Pat Rickey and Justin Trollinger, also Vinnie Werner and Dane Tarantelli, the defensive tackles for the Colonels. Michael Murphy, Lucas Wood, and Bud Moyer at the linebacker spots. 1st and 10 here. They're going to throw to the near side. First pass of the game is complete across the 40 near the 42-yard line. They might give him the 43. That pass was complete to Darmetko. Connor, a sophomore, had 2 catches last season for 39 yards. Wilkes running a few players on and off here. Second and what looks to be about 4 from the 42-yard line. So it's 2 receivers to the top, 1 on the near side. Messina stands out of the pistol. He waits the snap. Wilkes bringing pressure off the right side. Going to be a handoff to Ballard. Great cut back up the field. Ballard across the 50 into Wilkes territory and down near the 45-yard line. 13:08 to go first quarter, and Hartwick is on the move to the Wilkes 45-yard line. Good cut by Ballard. Ronnie Ballard, 84 rushes, 442 yards, 2 touchdowns last season in the Junior Deposit, New York. So there's 2 receivers to the near side. Prince Gahagan and Dylan Mucci. Mucci's in the slot. 3 receivers set out of the pistol. 1st and 10 from the Wilkes 45. Backs goes Messina. He's got all kinds of time. Stands in the pocket. Throws across the middle. It's caught. Great tackle by Wilkes right at the 41-yard line. Nice look at it. I think that was Moyer on the hit.
Number 82, Diamond.
Excuse me, that was Wood.
Colonel number 30, Lucas Wood.
Lucas Wood laying the wood there. A 4-yard pickup to the 41-yard line. So now it's 2 receivers to the near side. Verkler, I think that's Darmetko in the slot, and 2 receivers to the top. Messina again out of the pistol. Back he goes, looking to the near side. He's got some time, throws it over the middle. It's complete to his receiver. That's Ballard getting away from 1 tackler, and he's down close to the first down marker at the 35-yard line. Good patience there by Messina, not being harassed by the Wilkes front line just yet. And it's another 1st and 10, this time from the 35-yard line. Hartwick moving left to right. Hartwick, the white away uniforms. They've got the blue numbers, the blue pants with the silver and white trim, the silver helmets with the blue Hawks wings on it. 4 receivers set. Another pistol look. 4 down linemen for Wilkes. 1st and 10 from the 35. Back goes Messina. Steps into the pocket. All kinds of time. Lofts this one towards the end zone. Has his man, but it's high, and it's incomplete. In coverage there was Zach Weber. Kind of came over the top. The junior from Douglasville, Pennsylvania. The intended pass for Connor Darmetko, but it was a little high and incomplete. 11:17 to go here first quarter. No score. The first game of the season for Hartwick. And of course for Wilkes. Hartwick out of the Empire 8. Wilkes playing in the MAC. A couple different MAC teams in action today as well. Messina, 2nd and 10, another pistol look. 2 receivers near side, 1 at the top. He gets the snap. It's going to be a run with Ballard off the left side. Ballard trying to get the edge. He's got it across the 30, and I think that's where he's going to be stopped. Right before the 30-yard line. Now they're going to give him the 30, a 5-yard pickup. And now a big 3rd down play for Wilkes. Under 11 minutes to play first quarter, no score. Hartwick moving the ball. Can Wilkes get a 3rd down stop? The Hawks still getting the call in. They got 20 seconds on the play clock. Plenty of time. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top. Messina with Ballard behind him in the pistol. He awaits the snap. Wilkes brings a little pressure. No, just a 4-man blitz here, and Wilkes going to give up a pass across the middle. Cutting across there was Dylan Mucci. He comes down with the catch on the little rub route on the inside. And he gets to the 21-yard line. So Hartwick picks up the 1st down to the 21. It's been a pretty easy drive so far for Hartwick, and they're just outside the red zone here. Nice mix of pass and run so far from the Hawks. So 2 receivers, 1 to the top, 1 to the near side. Pistol look with Ted Galasso, the fullback, next to Messina. Back goes Messina. He's got time. Steps up. Throws it to the left side. Has his man, and it's knocked away. Great defensive stop for Wilkes. Incomplete. Devin Fink was the man able to knock that one away. The senior from Pottstown. Pass was intended for Mucci. who was trying to run to the corner there. So Fink knocks it down. 9:50 to go here in the first quarter. 2nd and 10 now from the Wilkes 21-yard line. Hartwick moving the ball pretty well. This is a team that averaged 29 points per game last year. Messina, again a pistol. 2 receivers to the top. Gets the snap, going to be a handoff to Ballard off the right side, cuts back up the field. He's hit immediately as he got into the hole. Bud Moyer on the stop. Across the 20 into the red zone near the 19-yard line, a pickup of about 2. So they're using Ballard a lot on this drive early as Hartwick. Bryce Messina, the sophomore from Syracuse, has had a lot of time to sit back in the pocket. Wilkes has got to try to get some pressure on him. Colonel's trying to get the crowd involved here, chanting for defense. 3rd and 8. 1 receiver to the top, 1 to the near side. It's another pistol look. Galasso, the fullback, is almost in front of Messina. Back goes Messina. Blitz coming from Wilkes. It's picked up. The throw across the middle is knocked down. Incomplete. Intended for Mucci, and I think that was Fink again. That's great defense from Devin Fink. And it's 4th and 8 from the 19-yard line, and Hartwick has to think about it here. And they're going to run it off. Gahagan comes on, Verkler comes on. They're going to go for it, I think. 8:58 to go, first quarter, no score. Wilkes trying to hold steady here. 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the near side for Hartwick. Messina, the pistol, 3 down linemen for Wilkes. They bring pressure up the middle. They're bringing everybody. Messina throws this one, open, and it's caught. Touchdown, Hartwick. Rucci on the catch. Wilkes gambled, and they got burned. Mucci came across the middle and scores, and Hartwick's on the board. So 6-0. Hartwick in front, pending the extra point. Here's the snap, holds down, the kick is up, and Kevin Roberts puts that one through. So Hartwick faced a couple 3rd downs, and they went for it on 4th down. They gambled, and they scored. The Hawks lead 7-0 with 8:51 to go here in the first quarter. McCarthy Tire Service has been there for generations of families for the highest quality in tires, service, and scheduled maintenance. With over 50 locations along the East Coast, our family is growing with yours. We're one of the top independent retail dealers in the United States. You can visit us at any of our service centers in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, Hazleton, or Williamsport. Service your vehicle with a family you can trust. Make your family a part of the next generation of McCarthy Tires. Visit them on the web at mccarthytire.com. So back to receive for Wilkes on the kickoff here. Jacob Cadis and Devin Fink. Roberts will kick this one away for Hartwick. So Wilkes forced a 4th down, but a 19-yard touchdown pass is the difference now. 7-0 lead. We'll see what the Wilkes Colonels offense can do here. Cadis and Fink stand at the 10-yard line. Roberts approaches, puts his foot to it. This is a bit of a line drive kick. It's picked up by Cadis at his own 7-yard line. He's running with it across the 15, now the 20, dives forward as a flag comes in near the 25-yard line. I think the head linesman threw that one on the near side with 8:45 to go first quarter. Wilkes in possession. But we'll see what the officials say. The officials still kind of talking about what the flag is here. Holding called against the Colonels. Their first penalty will back them up from the spot, which was around the 25-yard line, so that will put it at the 14-yard line. That's where Wilkes will take over. So it's Tabora and Taragna in the backfield for Wilkes. Jose Tabora Jr. from Richland, New Jersey, the quarterback. Brandon Taragna, the sophomore from Telford, Pennsylvania. Shotgun look. Two receivers near side, one to the top for Wilkes. 1st and 10 from just inside their own 15-yard line. Here's the snap, hand off. No, it's going to be a run for Tabora on the keeper. A little option look as he crosses the 15. Doesn't get much more space off the right side, maybe to the 17-yard line.
Josh Wilcox on the stop.
So they'll give him about 3 on the carry. 2nd and 7 coming here for Wilkes.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Jonathan Trock, not only the head coach in his first season, also the offensive coordinator. Spent 11 years as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at Hobart previous to this. 2 receivers to the near side, one to the top for Tabora again. It's Taragna next to him out of the shotgun. 2nd and 7 from their own 17-yard line, right to left as we see it. Tabora waits for the snap. Hartwick bringing some pressure on the left side. Tabora gets rid of it quickly, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver there for Wilkes. Nelson couldn't quite come down with that one. Derek Nelson, a junior from Pompton Plains, New Jersey, was seeing some snaps with the first team. So now it's 3rd and 7. The clock stops at 7:56 to go first quarter. 7-0 the score. 3 receivers to the near side. It's Nelson and Yannick in the slots, and Stieber deep to the near side. Tabora out of the shotgun once again. Hartwick showing a little pressure on the right side. And the back off as Tabora resets. 5 seconds on the play clock. He gets it. Back he goes. Now he steps up into the pocket. Tabora's going to have to run with it. Tabora's got a first down across his own 25 and out near the 29-yard line. Smart play by Tabora to see that the pocket was going to collapse, and Jose ran with it and got out to the 28. 1st and 10 for Wilkes. Those are the kind of plays that Wilkes is going to need to continue to get. Convert on 3rd downs, especially to give themselves confidence as this season goes along. 7:33 to go, first quarter, 7-0, Hartwick in front. Stieber's the deep man to the near side. And now Tabora is going under center. A traditional I look for Wilkes. 2 receivers set, 1 to either side. 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Ball on the far side hash. Hand off, no. A little flea flicker. Tabora going long, has a guy, and is knocked down. Great defensive play by Ian Chevane. The junior from Hamburg, New York was there. Juan Salas Negron was the guy that was going deep, but they just couldn't connect on the flea flicker.
Good defense there by Hartwick. Knocked away by number 31.
So 2nd and 10 after the flea flicker, so Wilkes opening up the playbook a little bit. 7:08 to go here in the first quarter. Now more of a pistol look for Wilkes. 2 receivers to the near side. Ernius is the deep man near side. You got a wing in tight, too, on the left. Taragna behind Tabora out of the pistol. Showing blitz is Hartwick. It's going to be a draw play and nowhere to go for Taragna. Tries to run off the right side and he's thrown backwards. Great blitz by Dylan Williams-Bachman off the right side. Was pretty much untouched as he got into the backfield. And they're knocked back to the 21-yard line, it looks like. And now Wilkes in trouble on 3rd and 17. 6:40 to go first quarter. So the ball's on the far side hash for the Colonels. They trail 7-0. They're moving right to left. Tabora again out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top. He awaits the snap. Bring a man in motion. Tabora rolling to his left side. Now looking to throw it out. He's got a man. It's complete to Yannick. Yannick staying in bounds. Did he get the first down? He's very close. And we'll see. This might be 4th down. Maybe about a half a yard shy. He needed the 43. And they're going to give it to him. The official says it's a first down. Wow. To the 43-yard line. Big pickup there. Tabora rolling to his left. Had Yannick. Fires a strike and Yannick gets the first down. Excuse me, that's the 38-yard line. So a big first down pickup for the Colonels. So Stever and Yannick are the two receivers to the top. Near side is Nelson. Tabor with a wing to his left. He waits the snap. Gets it, play action, looking. Nelson catches 45 and he's hit right at the 46-yard line. Chevane in on the stop. Also coming in to make that play was Chris Goody, the linebacker. So Hartwick with 3 down linemen. They kind of play out of a 3-4 with 4 linebackers. Second, and it looks to be about an 8, or 2, excuse me, because it was an 8-yard pickup to the 46-yard line. 2 receivers to the top, one on the near side, wing right for Tabor out of the shotgun. He awaits the snap. Hartwick bringing some pressure up the middle. Back goes Tabor, dumps it off near side. It's complete to Kelvin Gonzalez. First down across the 50-yard line. Wilkes moving the ball well to the Hartwick 45 with 4:43 to go here first quarter. Kelvin Gonzalez seeing his first action, and he catches a pass on the little route out of the backfield. So the Colonels moving the ball here with 4:30 to play first quarter. First and 10 from the 45-yard line, right to left as we see it. 2 receivers to the top, one to the near side. Another shotgun with Tabora, and Gonzalez next to him. So Wilkes finding ways to convert some big third downs here. Play action, Tabora looking over the middle, just led his man Yannick a little too strong. He put some extra gas on that. Yannick was running through between defenders, but it just out of his reach and incomplete. So second and 10 now for Wilkes. From the Hartwick 45-yard line. Two receivers to the top, one on the near side again for Tabora. Bring a man in motion, it's Nelson. Handoff, no, it's a keeper by Tabora. They fake the handoff and the end around to Nelson. And instead Tabora bores his way through, maybe 2 yards to the Hartwick 43-yard line. A couple other teams in action this afternoon as we're recording at home against the United States Merchant Marine Academy, like Cumming, playing home to Susquehanna. Kings down in Moravian. Lebanon Valley at Franklin and Marshall. Of course, Alvernia in action as well, starting their football campaign, their first season. 2 receivers to the top, one to the near side. 3rd and 8 from the 43-yard line for Wilkes. Tabora out of the shotgun once again. Back he goes. Sometime now he has to step up. He's under some duress. The pocket collapsing around him. Tabora has to go down, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 1 on the play. In on the stop. Jared Rudin, Ethan Roy also combining for the sack. A 1-yard loss. And unfortunately for Wilkes, they have to punt after what looked to be a very promising start. So that forces Wilkes to punt this one away. Alexander DeSpirito is the one to punt for the Colonels. Here it is. It's a bit of a rolling punt that's picked up by Hartwick. Nice catch. Rodarmo dove for that one near the 20-yard line, and that's where he grabs it. So Hartwick takes over at the 22-yard line. Hartwick moved the ball down the field pretty well on their first series. Did not have many issues getting into the end zone. Can the Wilkes defense try to hold up here? Give their offense a little bit of a boost here. Trip Merritt, the defensive coordinator for Wilkes, his 2nd season with the program, his first really as in charge of the whole defense. 2 receivers to the top, one to the near side for Bryce Messina. Ronnie Ballard behind him. Back goes Messina out of the pistol. He's under some duress. He was right now looking downfield. He's going to tuck it and run with it to the sideline before he's spun down near the 25-yard line. I think that was Justin Trollinger on the stop near the 26-yard line. So about 4 on the play. Jesmer checking into the game for Michael Murphy. Cole, a sophomore from Dover, Pennsylvania, part of a good group of linebackers for this Wilkes team. One receiver to the top, one to the near side. Another pistol look for Hartwick, second and about 6 from their own 26-yard line. Ball in the near side hash. Going to be a draw play to Ballard. Ballard running up the middle. He's hit as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Wilkes kind of had a good read on it. They just couldn't bring him down right away near the 30-yard line. About 4 yards on the pickup there. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Grab about 4, 3rd down and 2.
Another big 3rd down here for the Wilkes defense. Chang and Weber, the safeties. You got Fink and Amari Peterson as the corners for Wilkes right now. Colonels need a stop. 2 receivers to the top. It's 1 to the near side. Pistol look with Ballard behind Messina. 3rd and 2. Back goes Messina. Blitz coming. Gets away from the blitzer. Now Messina looking to run with it. He's going to tuck it. He's got a 1st down across his own 35 and down to the 37-yard line. Blitz came from Murphy, the senior from Boyertown, but he lost his angle. Messina got away, broke contain, and gets a 1st down. Looks like Lucas Wood had to hobble off. They're going to look at him on the sideline, the senior linebacker, 90 tackles last season, Lucas Wood. He's getting looked at behind the Wilkes bench. So the ball's on the 38-yard line after a Bryce Messina scramble for a 1st down. 53 seconds to play here in the 1st quarter. It's 7-0, Hartwick after 1. 2 receivers to the near side. Another pistol look. Going to hand off to Ballard off that left side. Ballard runs right through the Wilkes defense. He's across the 50 into open space. Now across the 30. Ballard dives forward, lost his balance, down near the 21-yard line. A huge pickup. And there's a flag. A flag came out late as that play was ending with 29 seconds here. So hold on. Let's see what the call is. This could erase a good run from Ballard. An illegal block in the back. So that'll still give Hartwick a 1st down, but they have to mark that off from where the penalty occurred. So it will be a 1st down, but at the Wilkes 42-yard line. So Wilkes lucky there. A block in the back called against Hartwick on what would have been a huge run for Ballard. So instead of a 1st down at the 21-yard line, it's a 1st down at the 42. The ball on the far side hash. 7-0 to score. Wilkes trailing Hartwick here. And with 15 seconds left on the 1st quarter clock, they're going to have to get one more play. The play clock at 8. Messina, pistol. Ballard behind him. Back goes Messina. He's got some time. Steps up. Looks. Throws it over the middle. And it is that caught? No, they're going to say it's incomplete. Lucci trying to plead that he came up with it, but the officials saying that that one hit the turf before he could. So an incomplete pass, and that is the end of the 1st quarter. So Hartwick leads 7-0 over Wilkes after 1. Not a bad effort from Wilkes to start here. We'll see if they can make things happen defensively. 2nd quarter action on the way. You're listening to Wilkes Colonels football. Stick around for the 2nd quarter.
State Farm offers discounts to young drivers for good grades and a positive driving record. Call Frank Sorokoc for more information about these discounts and other ways to reduce the insurance costs for young drivers. Like a good neighbor, Frank Sorokoc State Farm's office is there. Check out their new location at 186 East Tioga Street in Tunkhannock. Call 570-836-4000 for Frank Sorokoc State Farm.
So welcome back to Schmidt Stadium here. Wilkes taking on Hartwick. The opening game of the 2018 season for the Wilkes University Colonels and the Hartwick College Hawks. I'm Tom Ferguson. Thank you for joining us on the Wilkes Sports Network. Happy that you can spend your Saturday with us, the first Saturday in college football, Division III. Obviously Division I kicking off underway as well. A lot of teams in action. It will be Hartwick with the ball as we switch sides of the field here to start the second quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Hawks. Hartwick 78 rushing yards in that first quarter. They've looked pretty good on the ground. Ballard has been very, very effective for this team. So the ball's on the 42-yard line for Hartwick. 2 receivers to the top. Pistol look again for Messina. Ballard behind him. They're going to hand it off to Ballard off that left side. Wilkes trying to swarm to the football, but Ballard jumps forward across the 35. An 8-yard pickup once again. Damon Borheit on the stop. So 3rd and about 2 coming here for Wilkes. Can the Wilkes defense rise to the occasion here? 1 receiver to the top, 1 to the near side from Messina once again. Out of the pistol, hand off, Ballard right up the middle, first down and a lot more. Ballard trying to get inside the 20, he's inside the 10, he's down inside the 5-yard line.
Ballard on the carry.
Ronnie Ballard running around, through any way he can against the Wilkes defense, and now they've got a 1st and goal as Hartwick from the 4-yard line, right to left. Good run from Ballard. Been very good for Hartwick in this game. And now an opportunity for the Hawks to add a 2nd touchdown. Barely a minute gone by here, second quarter, 7-0 the score. So Hartwick breaks the huddle. They've got 1 receiver to the top. Another pistol look. Messina gets the snap. It's low. It goes through his legs, and he jumps on top of it at the 20-yard line. A low snap. Messina has to hop on it back near the 20. A 15-yard loss.
Spotted at the 19.
So back near the 19-yard line now, and that's where Hartwick has their 2nd and goal. So that's a huge blow for Hartwick, and that might be a big break for Wilkes if they can hold here. Another pistol look. It's Galasso, the fullback, next to Messina. Behind him is Ballard. 1 receiver near side, 1 to the top. Back goes Messina. Straight pass. Looking. Corner. Has his man. Caught. Touchdown. Dylan Bucci on the catch.
Dylan Bucci on the receiving end.
On a little corner look. That's his 2nd touchdown catch. Nice looking play for Hartwick. And they're into the end zone once again. No panic there from Messina. Just stepped back, looked to his right and had found his man. So Kevin Roberts on to kick the extra point. The freshman from Montgomery, New York. This one's up, and it's good. So Hartwick now with a 14-0 advantage. 12:49 to go here in the second quarter. Wilkes, the first season under head coach Jonathan Drock. Again, he spent 11 years, the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach at Hobart. 7 times they appeared in the NCAA tournament, 2 times the Sweet 16, 1 time in the Elite 8. 6-time Liberty League champion was Hobart with Coach Drock on the staff. But taking over his first season, the 9th head coach in the history of Wilkes University football. Started in the 40s. And pretty much starting from the ground up, a team that went 0-10 last year. So Wilkes lined up inside their own 10-yard line to receive this kick as Roberts has it placed at the 35. Roberts approaches, puts his foot to it, end-over-end kick taken near side. I think that's Cadis just inside his own 15-yard line. Cadis running to the middle of the field, now trying to scoot away near the 30. Nice return out to the 31-yard line.
Across the 31-yard line.
So let's see, Wilkes put together a pretty decent drive. Strung together some nice third down conversions, but kind of ran out of gas once they crossed midfield.
On their own 31-yard line.
We'll see what Jose Tabor and company can do here. 12:42 to go, second quarter. First and 10 from their own 31-yard line. The ball's on the near side hash. Two receivers to the top. It's one in the near side. They've got a tight end near side as well. Justin Dean, the junior from Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. Tabora next to him, Brandon Taragna. Shotgun look. Three down linemen for Hartwick. But they're bringing some pressure up the middle. They're going to pitch it to Taragna, running off the right side, looking for space. Runs out of real estate really quickly. Maybe a yard or two on the play. And they're going to give him a decent gain. Just out to the 33-yard line. Taragna, a sophomore from Telford, Pennsylvania, one of a slew of freshmen and sophomore players for this Wilkes team. Coach Strock says 75% of the main roster, the main players you're going to see and hear today are freshmen and sophomores. Two to the near side, two to the top. Tabora, back he goes, looking to the near side. Quick pass, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Ermius, but he couldn't hang on to it as Chavani met him right on the left side and knocked it free. Ermius, the sophomore from Hillsdale, New Jersey, just couldn't hang on to that one. And now Wilkes a 3rd and 8 from their own 33-yard line with 12:08 to go here, second quarter. Two to the top, one to the near side. Shotgun look. This is Jose Tabora once again. He awaits the snap. Pressure coming right up the middle. Wilkes trying to handle it. Tabora just going to launch this one deep, but it's too far. Almost intercepted. It's incomplete. It went right through the hands of Steven Janjulis, the junior quarterback. He was looking for Stieber, but he overthrew the senior receiver, and Wilkes will have to punt away. Connor Rodarmo is back to receive Despirito's punt. So Wilkes goes 3 and out on their second possession. So here's the snap. They get this one away. It's a bit of a wobbly one from Despirito. Picked up by Rodarmo, his own 35. He's wrapped up and thrown backwards. Great looking play there for Wilkes as Mike O'Donnell was the first one there, and then Anthony Washington cleaned things up. So O'Donnell and Washington combined at the stop at the 36-yard line. 11:53 to go. Second quarter here, 14-0 is the score. Now Hartwick, their offense, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. We'll see what they can do here, and the Wilkes Colonels defense going to need a big stop. They've got a receiver to the near side, one to the top. Pistol look with Ballard behind. Here's the snap. Messina the handoff to Ballard off the right side, cuts back up the field, turning, spinning across the 40 and down near the 41-yard line. He gets about 5 on the carry.
Stopped over there by Weber and Murphy.
Murphy, Weber in on the stop. For the Wilkes Colonels, a defense that gave up nearly 40 points per game last season, 186 yards on the ground last year. It was not the hard-nosed, tough defense I think that Coach Strock wants to see. And remember, he told us in the pregame this was not going to be an immediate results, immediate instant gratification kind of thing. You're going to have to work to get the results you want. 2nd and 5, Messina, nice draw play, really delayed, but Wilkes was ready for it this time. They saw that coming. In on the stop there was Michael Murphy.
Murphy and Wood on the stop.
the senior linebacker. No gain as Ballard got back to the 41. It was it was about a half second even later than the normal draw, and Wilkes was ready for it. So 10:40 to go here in the second quarter. Going to be joined at halftime by the Wilkes ice hockey coach, Brent Riley. Looking forward to talking to him about the program and his experience so far at Wilkes. Two receivers to the near side, one at the top, 3rd and 5 from the 41-yard line. Messina goes back. Wilkes some token pressure, and they get to Messina trying to get away. He does somehow, but then he's taken down. They couldn't get him down in the backfield initially. Messina escaped, got to the second level, but he's brought down about 3 or 4 yards shy of the first down marker. So from the 43, and the Wilkes defense holds as the punt team is coming on here for Hartwick. That's a big win for Wilkes.
Will be deep.
So Rusty Verkler is the punter. He's a receiver for this team, but he punts now for Hartwick, 4th and 3. Cadis is the one that stands inside or right at his own 15-yard line. So Wilkes forces a 3 and out, almost get a block. Bit of a wobbly punt. Did it hit anybody? No, they're going to say it bounces at the 30 and it will stop at the 32-yard line, and that's where Wilkes will take over with 9:21 to go second quarter. So Wilkes gets a stop defensively, and now the Colonels try to make something happen on offense here. Their first drive looked pretty good. They stalled out near the 50-yard line. Second drive, not as good. A 3 and out. 3 first downs for Wilkes, but just 9 yards rushing so far in this game. Already 106 yards rushing for Hartwick, 8 first downs in this game. So it's 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Shotgun, 3 receivers near side, 1 to the top for Jose Tabora. Some pressure from Hartwick up the middle. Pump fakes one way, now pump fakes back the other way, and it is an incomplete pass. It was intended for Ermias, but Ermias cannot hang on to it. There's a bit of a delayed wide receiver screen, almost a jet screen there, but just couldn't get it to Ermias, and that's the second one he's dropped. So he checks out, as does Juan Salas Negron. Justin Deem into the game. 2 receivers near side, and Stieber and Yannick. 1 to the top for Wilkes. Shotgun again for Tabora. He awaits the snap. Gets it. Hand off to Ragnar. No, it's Tabora on a keeper. Tabora right up the middle across the 40. Nice looking play there. About 8 yards on the play there.
He's shy of the first down, but that is a 9-yard
9-yard pickup to the 41-yard line. Good looking run there for Jose Tabora. So now Wilkes trying to pick up a 3rd down here. 8:52 to go in the half. 1 receiver near side, 1 to the top. I formation behind Tabora. Rossi is the fullback. And a handoff, I don't think Taragna got it. It's close. They might give him second half. And actually, he's a lot closer. That might be a good spot here. And the officials say he got it. The 42-yard line. Big first down pickup there. Good second effort from Taragna. He was hitting the backfield, but he got through the contact and got to the 42-yard line. So Wilkes grabs the first down.
First down.
1 receiver to the near side, 1 to the top. Pistol look to Ragnar behind Tabora. Ball on the far side hash. Back goes Tabora. Throws it quickly out to the left side, and it is complete to Stieber.
Ball is complete to Stieber
at the 48-yard line.
A
6-yard pickup on the quick out there to Jeff Stieber, the senior out of Shikshinny, graduate of Berwick. So Stieber is the deep man. He'll come near side. Salas Negron is in the slot to the near side. It's Nelson, the lone receiver, to the top. Shotgun, 2nd and 4 from the 48 for Tabora. Pressure coming off the left side. That's picked up. Now Tabora trying to run away from that pressure. Throws it to the near side end. Was that caught No, it's incomplete. I think Stieber came down with it, but they're going to say he was out of bounds.
Just out of bounds.
At around the 40-yard line, so it's just an incomplete pass, but Stieber made a great grab, just couldn't get his feet in bounds. So now it's 3rd and 4 from the 48-yard line. 7:26 to go here in the second quarter. Stieber is the receiver to the near side. 2 receivers to the top. Shotgun formation. They bring a man in motion. That's Yannick. They'll put him in the slot on the near side. Shotgun to Boyle, looking, quick pass to Stieber. Stieber has it complete. Stieber trying to cut up the field. He's got a first down across the Hartwick 45-yard line to the 41. Great look there. Stieber spun away from trouble, gets to the sideline, and has a first down on Hartwick's 41-yard line. 7:16 to go here in the second quarter. Wilkes starting to move again. They pick up another first down. But can they get into the final third of the field here? Nelson is the receiver to the near side. They've got 2 receivers to the top. Ermias, and then it's Yannick in the slot. Shotgun formation once again. Man comes in motion. To Ragnar, now it's Tabora, quickly thrown out to outside to Nelson. He catches that one near the 36. A pickup of around 5. So Wilkes with a couple quick hitters on the outside. Joe Lashinsky, the freshman, checking into the game. Justin Deem into the game as well. Richard Ermias is the receiver in isolation near side. Yannick, the receiver in isolation to the top. Tabora out of a pistol. Next to him is Lashinsky. Behind him, Taragna. He awaits the snap. 2nd and 5 from the 36-yard line. Going to be a play action. Tabora under some duress. Has to throw it up for grabs. Yannick can't come down with it. It's incomplete. Janjulis was the one who knocked it away. Intended for Yannick. Tabora had to kind of float that one to get it over a defender who got into the backfield. So 5:53 to go here in the second quarter, and it's another 3rd down play here for Wilkes. 3rd and 5 from the 36-yard line. The ball's on the near side hash. This is Tabora out of the shotgun. Taragna next to him to his left. 1 receiver near side, 2 receivers to the top. I think that's Harrison, the tight end, to the right. Play action, going to be Tabora just running with it on the inside. He's got a first down inside the 30, near the 29-yard line. So Jose Tabora finding some space as he fakes the handoff to Taragna, and they get inside the 30 with 5:43 to go second quarter. Wilkes moving the ball. So it looks like Harrison still out there. Jordan Jones, the sophomore tight end, also out there for Wilkes. And he's going to line up in the slot near side. Stieber near side as well. Harrison in the slot to the top. 4 receiver set with Yannick at the top of the formation. Now they bring a man in motion. It's Jones. So they go trips to the top. Back goes Tabora. No blitz from Hartwick. They're going to stay in coverage. Tabora going to follow one of his linemen. He's down inside the 25. Near the 21-yard line. He found big Anthony Marcin-Cabbage, the senior center, put his hand behind his back and rode him for a little bit there to about the 22-yard line. Now maybe the 23, I think, is where they have that one marked. So a good pickup of about 6 to make it 2nd and 4. 4:36 to go, second quarter. Wilkes driving, methodical here on their 3rd possession. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. This is exactly the kind of possession that Coach Strock talked about in the opening. Lots of plays. They bring a man in motion. It's Nelson. Nelson makes it trips to the near side. Back goes Tabora, looking, quick hitter to the outside. It's complete to Stieber, who took a hit spun out of trouble, and he has another first down.
That ball will be spotted.
He got hit hard, turned and spun away, and the Colonels pick up another first down. That was Josh Wilcox that laid the wood on that play. But Stieber picks up a first down, and Wilkes now into the red zone for the first time this afternoon. 3:50 to go, second quarter. Two receivers to the top, two to the near side. Another shotgun for Tabora to Ragnar near him. First and 10 from the 17. Ball on the near side hash. 4 down linemen for Hartwick. Back goes Tabora. He's under some duress. Now throws it. It's a screen to Taragna. Set up well inside the 10. And he's down close to the 5.
Inside the 10-yard line.
So they find Taragna. He is very close to the first down marker. 2nd and 1 from the 8.
Itsy-bitsy for a first down.
So 2nd and 1 from just outside the 8-yard line. Stieber's the receiver to the near side. Can Wilkes come away with some points? That's the big question now. Under 3 minutes to play second quarter. Tabora, pistol look. Rossi is the fullback next to him. Back he goes. He's looking, quick hitter to the outside. Stieber, the catch. Is he in? Touchdown, Wilkes! Tabora to Stieber. And the Colonels are on the board. An 8-yard touchdown catch. Stieber's good hands are rewarded. Tabora with the quick hitter to the outside, which had been working for Wilkes all drive long, and the Colonels get their touchdown. So Cutteroff on to kick the extra point. They await the snap. The hold is good. The kick up and through.
The kick is up and good, and the Colonels are on the board.
14-7, Hartwick in front, but don't sleep on the Colonels just yet. Wilkes gets on the board. A great-looking drive that they put together there with 2:44 to go here in the second quarter. So Coach Drock and company able to put that one together. I thought the offensive line seemed to do pretty well on that drive as well. Giving just enough time for Tabora and his receivers, his running backs, to kind of set their plays up.
Some scores from across the
So Wilkes
state. Franklin Marshall 20.
picked up 5 first downs on that drive. Still only 32 rushing yards, but starting to throw a lot better. 79 receiving yards so far for Wilkes. So back to receive Connor Darmetko and Matt Scottman for the Hartwick Hawks. Now remember, Hartwick got the ball to start the game. They have all 3 timeouts remaining and a 14-7 lead, so you got to think they're going to be aggressive here.
Now at the half, 14-0.
Ball placed on the 35-yard line, the near side. So approaching the ball, cutter off. It's a high end-over-end kick coming to the near side around the 17-yard line. That one's picked up by Darmetko, trying to turn and spin away from trouble, and he's down near the 27-yard line.
Darmetko on the return.
So now let's see, with 2:38 to go, all 3 of the timeouts remaining. We'll see what Hartwick can try to put together here. They've got 2 receivers at the top. And they got one on the near side. Messina. Out of the pistol look, they're getting the calls from Coach Carr on the sideline. Behind him is Ballard. Back goes Messina. 1st and 10 from the 27. Looking downfield, he's wrapped up, steps out of trouble, and then he goes down. Vinny Warner cleans up the mess. And the Colonels are fired up defensively. So that knocks him backwards inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. Now Hartwick playing a little early up here. Wilkes has to get reset defensively. About 5 on the play that they lost. Another pistol look with 2:10 to go. 2nd and 15 from the 23-yard line. Messina with Ballard behind him. One receiver near side, two to the top. Back goes Messina. Four-man rush from Wilkes. Throws it over the middle, complete to Ballard. Ballard trying to get to the outside. He's knocked down near the 34-yard line. He's about 4 yards shy of where he needs to be for a first down. And Hartwick quickly runs to the line again. 1:47 to go here in the second quarter. 3rd and 4 coming for the Hawks. Ball just inside their own 35-yard line on the near side hash. Again, two receivers to the top, one on the near side. It's another pistol look. Messina and company looking to the sideline for the signal from Coach Carr. And he gives that to them. Wilkes showing some pressure. They bring it up the middle. It's going to be a run with Ballard trying to get to the outside. He gets the edge, but Wilkes is there to meet him right at the 35-yard line, and it forces a 4th down. So the Colonel defense stepping up here. It's 4th and 3. What will Hartwick do with 1:15 to go? And the officials say there's a timeout. The Colonels will take it.
Colonels take a timeout.
Now that's a smart play by Coach Drock and company here. 1:15 to go second quarter. They use their first timeout. They're down 14-7. They can try to find, if they get a decent return on a punt here, they get some good field position, they might be able to play quickly with 2 timeouts.
Fans reminded that they are not allowed on the field at any time.
State Farm offers discounts to young drivers for good grades and a positive driving record. Call Frank Sirokach for more information about these discounts and other ways to reduce the insurance costs for young drivers. Like a good neighbor, Frank Sirokach State Farm's office is there. Check out their new location at 186 East Tioga Street in Tunkhannock or call 570-836-4000 for Frank Sirokach State Farm. So 4th and a long 2 here for Hartwick, and they might be going for this. So we'll see how Wilkes wants to try to defend this, but 4th and a short 3, long 2, and Hartwick's going to go for this. 2 to the top, 1 to the near side. Wilkes has to be wary here. Pistol look, Ballard behind Messina. Big 4th down here before the end of the first half. They're trying to get Wilkes to jump. And that's a great job, great discipline by the Wilkes defenders to know what was coming, to not jump offside. And now this little bit of gamesmanship between both sides. We'll see how this plays out here. So Hartwick burns a timeout here. And we'll see what they're going to do, if they run everybody back out there to try that again, to actually go for it, or if they end up deciding to punt here. Wilkes has a lot of momentum. Wilkes getting the ball to start the second half. The Colonels trailing 14-7. And it's going to be the punt unit here for Hartwick. So Rusty Verkler to punt away. Jacob Cadis back to receive for Wilkes. So the Wilkes defense holds when they absolutely need to. Verkler awaits. 4th and 3. High. Able to get this one away. A little bit of a wobbler. Cadis calling for a fair catch right at his own 33-yard line. So not the greatest field position in the world for the Colonels, but a 1:09 to go in the second quarter here. Let's see what they can do. Wilkes, the good thing is they scored on their last drive. I think if you want to say the bad thing is they took a lot of time to do that. They don't have a lot of time right now. 1:09 to go in the half. 2 timeouts left. Can the Colonels move the ball quickly down the field? Try to see what they can do. 2 receivers to the top, 1 on the near side. Yannick is in the slot to the top. Stevers the deep man. Near side it's Nelson. Tabora out of the shotgun. Next to him, Taragna. Back goes Tabora. He's rolling to his left. He's looking downfield, able to throw it downfield to the corner. It's caught. 1 foot. Wow, what a grab. Jeff Steber coming down with that one to the 49-yard line. First down, Wilkes. Looked like a statue on that play. To the 49-yard line. 1:04 to go. First and 10 from the 49-yard line. Steber with a great catch. He's made a couple of them, including a touchdown. 1:04 to go. The clock stops as he falls out of bounds. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the top. First and 10 from the 49-yard line. Ball on the far side hash. Left to right goes Wilkes. Tabora. Back he goes. Near side. Pumps once. Now looking down the sideline. Has Stever open. Caught. Stever. Touchdown. Jose Tabora with a bullet to Jeff Stever. And the Colonels get a touchdown here. Tabora rolled to his right. He pumped. Stever used that to get around the defender, and he had at least 5 yards of separation as he came down with that one and ran it into the end zone. A 51-yard touchdown catch. And an extra point to tie things up. 14-all between Wilkes and Hartwick. A huge turn of events here as it looked like Hartwick was poised to run away. But Wilkes puts a great drive together, and then they score quickly just before the half to tie things up with 56 seconds to go. So 56 seconds to play. Hartwick still has 2 timeouts left. The Wilkes defense has twice forced the Hawks in a 3-and-out, forced them to punt away. Can they do that again? Can they hold steady here? So back to receive Darmetko and Scottman. I think a lot of credit has to go to how Wilkes' defense has played so far in this game. This is not an easy offense to hold down. So Scottman, the sophomore, Darmetko, another sophomore back there. Meanwhile, it's Cutteroff to punt or to kick away here from the 35-yard line. Puts his foot to it. It's an end-over-end kick, high, spiraling. Darmetko catches it at his own 15, dropped it momentarily. Now trying to run away from Wilkes' pressure. Can't get anywhere. Momentum firmly on the sides of the Colonels as they knock Darmetko down inside his own 15-yard line. Really good pursuit from the Colonels on that play. Jason Wiley in on the stop. Anthony Washington was there as well for Wilkes. 50 seconds to go. One receiver to the near side. 2 to the top for Hartwick. First and 10 from their own 15. Ball on the near side hash. Back goes Messina. He's just going to run off to the right side. Now trying to cut back up the middle of the field. Makes the first line of defenders miss as he crosses the 20 out near the 21-yard line. 39 seconds to play. Here in the first half. A little bit of hurry up here from Hartwick. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top. Another pistol look for Messina. Behind him is Ballard. Gets the snap, back he goes. Messina looking downfield, has time, throws it, and it's almost intercepted. It was off the hands of Cole Jessmer. The sophomore dropped back into coverage, and it was almost as if it was intended for him. Went right through his hands and incomplete. So the clock stops at 17 seconds. And now it's 3rd and 4 from the 21-yard line. So a few substitutions in and out here. Ted Galasso into the game. Messina gets the call. So 1 receiver to the top, 1 to the near side. Only 1 second of the play clock. They just get it off. Bryce Messina, back he goes. He's looking. He's under some duress. And down he goes. Vinny Warner gets the sack, and Wilkes gets a timeout in, I think, as Messina gets knocked back to the 16-yard line. Yeah, Wilkes got 1 last timeout in. They still have 1 to go, but there's 11 seconds, and I got to think Hartwick's going to punt away here again. So Hartwick, after looking very impressive offensively, forced to punt on 3 straight possessions, it seems like now. And Wilkes with another chance, maybe to put themselves in good field position on a play or 2 here. They do have 1 timeout remaining, and maybe try to kick a field goal. Who knows? But the Colonels now, from the looks of it, forcing Hartwick to punt again. Impressive performance from the Colonels here, coming back from 14-0 to tie this game at 14-all. So it's Verkler back to punt away. Wilkes doesn't have anybody back. And Hartwick wants to call a timeout. So Wilkes didn't have anybody back to receive the punt, but Hartwick calls timeout. Looked like Wilkes was going to bring some pressure there. So 12 seconds to go here, second quarter. Tied at 14 between Wilkes and Hartwick, the opener for the Colonels. And the Hawks here, opening weekend, Division III football. Opening weekend in a lot of sports in action. Of course, volleyball down at Williamsport and Lycoming College. Had 3 matches today. Field hockey was in action last night. Men's soccer in action last night. Women's soccer gets started on the 5th. So Verkler back to punt away again. Again, Wilkes doesn't have anybody back to receive the punt. And they're okay with that. They're showing pressure up the middle. High snap for Verkler. Does get this one away, and the ball's going to bounce near the 50-yard line, and Hartwick is just going to let this thing roll. And the clock's going to run out, and that's going to be the end of the first half. So Wilkes didn't have anybody back to receive the punt. They just brought some pressure instead, and the clock runs out. So Wilkes, after trailing 14-0 and Hartwick driving to try to make it 21, gets a big defensive stop. They get a couple nice offensive plays, including a great drive to get their first points, and then a 51-yard touchdown pass to tie things up just before the half. Wilkes gets the ball to start the second half. Impressive stuff from Wilkes. And they lead at halftime here. It's tied at halftime, 14-all. Between Wilkes and Hartwick. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more. You're listening to Wilkes Football on the Wilkes Football Network.
State Farm offers discounts to young drivers for good grades and a positive driving record. Call Frank Sorokoc for more information about these discounts and other ways to reduce the insurance costs for young drivers. Like a good neighbor, Frank Sorokoc State Farm's office is there. Check out their new location at 186 East Tioga Street in Tunkhannock. Call 570-836-4000 for Frank Sorokoc State Farm.
Welcome back to the Wilkes Football Network. Here at halftime, 14-all between Wilkes and Hartwick. And we're joined now at halftime by the head coach for the Wilkes ice hockey team, Coach Brett Rowley. Coach, how you doing?
Awesome. Having a great day watching the football team here put on a great performance so far at half.
Yeah, absolutely. Falling behind 14-0, coming back to tie it here at halftime. Seems pretty exciting out there. How excited are you to kind of see the athletic programs just get started this weekend, just get things underway?
It's extremely exciting for me to see the football team here and other teams get going. Kind of puts it in perspective for us as a program that in not too long we'll be getting going here next month.
What's the campus reception been like for you so far? You know, you got hired a year ago or whatever, got a year of recruiting under your belt. What's the reception, the feeling you get that you've had so far at Wilkes University?
It's been nothing but supportive. Extremely supportive on all ends, and I think everyone from professors to faculty and staff are excited to see our guys compete, and nothing but warm and welcome feedback so far here.
Now, your family, obviously, a lot of history when it comes to coaching hockey. You know, your father was head coach for Army, current scout for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Your grandfather coached at West Point for 35 years. It's in your blood, right?
For sure. There's big shoes to fill. fulfill, but I think kind of the best advice they gave me is to carve my own path and, learn from everyone as we go, but, most importantly, not be afraid to make my own mistakes and learn from them and grow as a coach.
When you got the opportunity to become the first head coach in the history of a program, what does that mean to you to be trusted with that?
It's an extreme honor and really humbling. I give a lot of credit to our guys that are now here on campus, the 30 young men that said they want to take that leap of faith and build something. It takes a lot of character and a lot of commitment, and so I'm extremely proud to represent this hockey program in the university, and we're extremely excited to move forward here.
What to you is what's going to make this season successful? What's kind of your outlook as far as what you want to see build year to year?
We want to take positive steps as a program. That might not be defined necessarily by wins and losses, but moving forward and showing commitment to growing and getting better every day, from competing in games to moving forward and then hopefully transforming that into wins. But right now we're committed to the process of taking things day by day and carving a path and taking this league by surprise, hopefully, starting next month.
Now, what have you, and obviously your research and getting ready for the league, what have you kind of figured out about the MAC or about Division III hockey that excites you?
It's great hockey, top to bottom. When I played at Hobart, we were in a league with a lot of these teams, formerly the ECAC West. So I'm very familiar with the Uticas, Elmira, Manhattanville. Then you see new teams like Stevenson and the return of Lebanon Valley, and there's no easy test. It's great hockey, top to bottom, and that's something that makes me excited, to play good teams and great atmospheres at awesome facilities as well.
Is it exciting? I would think so. It's great for Wilkes, too, to have someone who's also new to hockey and Kings right down the road to continue that rivalry in just about everything they do with each other.
That's going to be an unbelievable rivalry. We saw what they did this year and made a lot of steps forward. And it's going to be the same path for us. Obviously, we're going to have a different strategy and plan, but I think, the rivalry will be pretty incredible from Game 1 to Game 2 as well.
So you said you start camp in a week, right? Not a week, in a month or so, right?
We'll get going in October 8th here, so a little bit of time, and then it's go, and full tilt ahead.
And then, of course, the first game, Friday, October 26th, you're up at SUNY Canton. What do you think about the schedule that's been put together so far?
We wanted to get on the road and play a really good team right away, a little bit of team building, play a tough, older, physical team for a group of young guys and open their eyes to college hockey. Go up there with, no expectations and try and surprise them. We've got some older guys. We've got some guys that have played in this league before. So we want to take it day by day and hopefully turn some heads starting October 26th there.
And then, of course, you got your first home game Friday, November 9th against Stevenson, which kind of opens up that MAC play, a couple different... how excited are you to just kind of get into that season mode, into preparing for teams and week by week? And
we're thrilled, and I think the guys are too. From a coaching standpoint, myself and my assistant coach, Tyler Hines, who comes to us from Union, we can't wait, and we're counting down the days, but I think that excitement is contagious with the group of guys that are ready to go. We actually have 2 transfers from Stevenson, so I think they'll be itching to play their former team as well.
So, Coach Brett Riley here, the head coach for the Wilkes ice hockey team, their first season in action starting up in October. Of course, we're looking forward to that. It's hard to believe that we're actually approaching that. What are these next couple days going to be like for you guys as you get closer to the start?
We're just hoping our guys get acclimated on campus. That's the priority right now, that they get squared away and they settle in. They do the right things in the classroom and off the ice. And we always tell the guys the hockey's the easy part. It will come together when we get there, but to focus on the controllables, the school side, and making a good first impression in year 1.
Now, what is kind of your philosophy as far as the style of hockey? Because I know there's varying styles of how teams play. What's kind of your philosophy? What's your style?
Hockey's a simple game. It's a reactionary game. We're going to commit to the D zone, and we're going to have some fun offensively. We're going to make plays. We're going to use hockey sense. We're not going to be overly technical with X's and O's, and we're just going to let them play, go out, have fun, and be an extremely competitive team. Take pride in doing the little things from finishing hits to blocking shots. And then, like I said, we're going to use our hockey sense attacking and making plays.
We're joined here at halftime by the head coach of the Wilkes ice hockey team. They start their season this year. Coach Riley, appreciate your time.
Yep, thank you very much.
Absolutely. So Coach Riley joining us here on the Wilkes halftime show. And, of course, Wilkes tied with Hartwick 14-14 is the score at half. A little look at what the stats are showing us right now for both teams. Wilkes putting together a lot of great first downs. 10 first downs. They actually have more than Hartwick. That was not the case through most of the game. They got 32 rushing yards, does Wilkes. So they're not really grinding it on the ground, but 146 passing yards, 11 of 19 through the air for Wilkes. A couple touchdown passes for Jose Tabora, who's been great for this team so far for Wilkes. He's really led this team. 11 of 19, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. Has connected with Jeff Stever 6 times for 98 yards and 2 scores, including the big one, a 51-yard touchdown pass to tie the game up at 14 here at halftime between Wilkes and Hartwick. 6 tackles for Bud Moyer to lead everybody for the Colonels. 1 solo, 5 assisted. They've got a couple tackles for loss, and it really just seemed like Wilkes needed to settle in a little bit, and that was kind of the case. That's kind of what happened for them as they settled into what they're doing. I mean, Hartwick is running the ball pretty effectively. 19 carries, 105 yards, 12 carries, 110 yards right now for Ronald Ballard. He's been pretty good. Ronnie Ballard, 9.2 yards per carry so far. Has been very, very effective for them. And I mentioned, it was a pair of 19-yard touchdown passes from Bryce Messina to Dylan Lucci that looked like it was going to be Hartwick pulling away. It looked like Hartwick was really on the move. Wilkes had just had a quick 3 and out. Hartwick got possession, and it just seemed like Hartwick was on the verge of breaking this game open, was breaking away from Wilkes, but the Wilkes defense stepped up, was able to get a big stop on a 3rd down, force a punt. They put together a nice drive, which, of course, if you remember the interview we had with Coach Strock before the game, he mentioned that as one of the big keys for his team was just putting together solid drives, was being able to do that, and they put together a nice 8-9 play drive to get down the field, get into the end zone, and a nice pass to Jeff Stever, 8 yards out, and that just gave them enough confidence. They're down by 7, all right, we can score. Hartwick comes back and has to go on another 3 and out, has to punt the ball away. Wilkes gets it. They have a little time on the clock left. They move the ball quickly downfield. A 51-yard touchdown pass. Stever from Tabora. Bang, just like that, tied at 14. And then still it felt like, all right, Hartwick's got 55 seconds left. They've got 2 timeouts. Maybe they can try to make something happen here. And Wilkes' defense rises to the occasion again, forces another punt to end the half. There's a ton of momentum on the Colonel's side of the field right now, and Wilkes has to be very happy with where they're at. 29 offensive plays, 178 yards. Hartwick outgaining them by 1 yard, 179 to 178. This game has been very, very even in possession time. Hartwick only 2 minutes more of possession. Wilkes 5 of 7 on 3rd down, which is huge. I mean, this was a team last year that was not great on 3rd downs. Wilkes, I think, was at the 30% mark or so on 3rd down, 33.9. So converting 5 of 7 is huge, and they're just efficient. They're moving the ball well. This is a great start to the Jonathan Drock era here for the Wilkes Colonels. So very, very impressive here. 14-14 is the score. Wilkes and Hartwick tied at halftime here from Schmidt Stadium. We want to thank McCarthy Tires. McCarthy Tire Service has been there for generations of families for the highest quality in tires, service, and scheduled maintenance. With over 50 locations along the East Coast, their family is growing with yours. They're one of the top independent retail dealers in the United States, and you can visit them at any of their service centers in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, Hazleton, or Williamsport. Service your vehicle with a family name you can trust and make your family a part of the next generation of McCarthy Tires. Visit them on the web at mccarthytire.com. So thanks to them for helping us out, presenting this afternoon's broadcast of Wilkes football on the Wilkes Football Network here. Again, game tied 14-14. We're at halftime between the Colonels and the Hawks, and we're joined now by the voice of Schmidt Stadium here, John Mendola, joining us on the Wilkes Football Network here. How you doing, John?
Good, Tom. How are you?
Hanging in there, hanging in there, but enjoying what we're seeing so far from the Colonels.
It's been a different look from them right out the get-go. Hartwick, I think, started out pretty darn good. It looked like they were almost unstoppable, virtually in the first half, and then Wilkes gets a little shot in the arm, and all of a sudden that confidence starts growing for them. But Hartwick looks like they have that ability to maybe go up and down the field. Pretty impressive running back, quarterback could do the job. the Colonels to be tied at this point, that's a big accomplishment.
I think, it's funny. Both of these teams, I think, are showing signs of that talent that I think both coaches know they have. They're both very young, lots of sophomores and lots of freshmen on the Wilkes side, lots of sophomores and kids that didn't get a ton of action last year on Hartwick's side. But I think the real key is when you mentioned it, Hartwick looked like they were going to run away with this thing, and Wilkes started to get, I think they're getting a lot more pressure all of a sudden on Bryce Messina.
They are defensively. That wasn't there early in the game. There was no pressure. And then offensively, Jeff Stieber really didn't get any looks. Now he got some looks, and he winds up doing some positive stuff, including a huge 51-yard touchdown reception.
Right.
But, a play or two here or there from Jeff Stieber when he stayed in bounds over on the far sideline, and, of course, getting the first down over here on that previous drive. Those are veteran plays from a guy that had to apply for that extra year of eligibility due to an injury he had early in his career, and his leadership is showing through right now for a young Colonel team.
Yeah, a senior receiver out of Berwick who's done a great job. Obviously, 2 touchdown catches. Someone else coming off of injury, Jose Tabora, suffered an injury the second game of the season last year, and has been able to turn around and do a pretty good performance so far. 11 of 19, 140-some yards, 2 touchdowns. He's looked very steady with the ball, and again, showing that kind of that upperclassman leadership.
He is an emotional guy. Tabora, you saw, he's got family here, and they come and support him. He throws that touchdown pass. That leadership, that rubs off on his guys offensively. So he starts, the more he carries the ball or the more he gets some receptions, that confidence then spills over to the entire Colonel offense. And I think you saw that as this game has played on into the second quarter, that Wilkes just getting a little bit more confident. And, for Coach John Jock, that's going to be huge for this team. If they could grow up quickly, they could be in some ball games this year.
Well, and that was a problem for them last year, was that when things seemed like they could get worse, they just found a way to get worse, especially in games where it just got out of control in a hurry for Wilkes. Again, it seemed like that was going to be the case, and they get a touchdown, they get a little momentum. Like you mentioned, for young guys to get that kind of feeling, that kind of experience, that's invaluable.
Absolutely. And the kicking game is pretty solid. You get Despirito in here. He's doing a nice job punting the ball, getting the extra points for them. They had good kick coverage. As
Yes.
Beginning of the game to the end of the half, the kick coverage got better each time. So little things like that, just getting some reps and getting reps against an opponent instead of being in camp all the time, you're hitting each other. You hear that theme all the time, and that was one of the things that Coach Strock said this morning in talking to him, and I know you met with him earlier in the week. How did you feel his confidence level was when you spoke with him?
He seems like someone who I think is in control and knows what he wants out of his team, kind of knows what to expect, and at the same time is still kind of getting used to being the person in charge of everything. Obviously at Hobart he was the offensive coordinator there and the quarterbacks coach, but he wasn't someone that necessarily had to worry about the other elements of the game. But he seems like someone who's confident in his staff, confident in his players, and knows that this isn't going to be a Wilkes team that's going to be 9 wins or 10 wins or something like that unless something crazy happens. This is going to be a long process of trying to build this program back to the levels they reached in the early 2000s, or obviously the rich history that it has. He knows the work that's ahead, and he just wants to make sure they're ready to make that work happen. And obviously it's paying dividends here with a tie game.
Yeah, and we go back to that veteran play. Devin Fink had a couple big plays defensively for Wilkes. Now, on the other end of it, Hartwick kind of hung that pass that maybe if he throws it a little further would be a touchdown, but Fink ends up punching out that ball at the last second. That should have been a touchdown for Hartwick. Vinny Warner and some of those guys up front have kind of now stepped up here late in the half, and then some of the usual guys, a Wood, a Moyer, guys like that doing the job defensively, and that's on the side of the ball where Coach feels like they have a little bit more experience defensively. But we haven't really seen much established on the run game for the Colonels, but in a sense, it really is Jose Tabora's run game that's been a huge part, but they'd like to try to see if they can get some reps, I think, here from the running back position to try to maybe get some positive yardage and establish that a little bit more to maybe get some of that passing game going.
Yeah, Brandon Taragna, they're having a tough time getting him any push, anything there, but you're right, Tabora's running has kind of kept that balance there for them, and when he can roll out and throw the pass or roll out and run with it and pick up 5 or 6 yards, that at least keeps the defense on their heels and gives Wilkes an opportunity to move the ball down the field. I think that's the big thing, at least noticed about their first touchdown drive, John, is they converted a lot of third downs, too. They strung together a couple nice plays and were able to make that into an 8, 9, 10 play drive.
Yeah, and if you could stay on the field. I mean, we've seen this game this year with the Colonels. Now, last year 0-10. Now, this year, they're on the field a little bit more. It's not that quick, okay, all right, that series is over, that series is over. It's slowed down the game a little bit. That's been a little bit better for the Colonels, both offensively and defensively. Of course, trying to keep that offense, as you say, sustain drives, long drives, and keep them going. But, credit Jose Tabora with his leadership that he had here. And of course, they're all still getting used to their coaching staff, new players, and 50, 60, 70 guys. I mean, they got a lot of freshmen and sophomores on this roster here for the Colonels. So every rep they get is going to help make a difference, early in the season and then throughout the year when the season culminates with Kings.
Yeah, 75% of the roster is freshmen and sophomores, and it's the first game day for the coaching staff together as well. So everybody's trying to get used to it, get into the flow of how this season's going to go.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you chatting with me, Tom, and keep it going. All right. Thanks for doing the game today.
I'm going to do the best I can. The voice of Schmidt Stadium here, John Mendola, joining us here on the Wilkes Football Network as we get ready for the second half between the Colonels and Hartwick. Now, the Colonels have made their way back out onto the field. Still no sign of Hartwick just yet. They were a team that had some good looks at Hartwick, just couldn't quite put it together towards the end there. Got into some trouble. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more second half action on the way between Wilkes and Hartwick on the Wilkes Sports Network.
Here's the Wilkes University athletic schedule for the next week. Today, the women's volleyball team plays 3 games. We'll take on Clark Summit University, play Coleman College, and Penn College, all in Wilkes. On Monday, the women's golf team will take on Wilkes University, and that's a 3 o'clock start. And Sunday, and American University at 1. On Tuesday, September 4th, the women's volleyball team will battle Penn State Randy on Wednesday, September 5th.
So welcome back as Hartwick makes their way out onto the field here. The Wilkes Football Network. I'm Tom Ferguson. Thanks for joining us. The Hawks won the toss and elected to receive back in the first half, so it will be Wilkes starting with the ball to start the second half here. Colonels getting a 51-yard touchdown. Just as the half was winding to a close. So we'll see what they can do here. So it will be Kevin Roberts to kick things off for Hartwick. Second half about to get underway. Back to receive for the Colonels. They're going to be moving left to right as we see it. Cadis and Fink. Cadis on the near side, Fink to the far side, standing at their own 10-yard line. Second half action about to get underway between Hartwick and Wilkes. Approaching the ball. Here's the boot, end-over-end kick taken by Fink around his own 6-yard line. He runs to the middle of the field. He's across the 15, now the 20. Fink gets up the middle, now makes a man miss across the 40, and he's taken down to the 42-yard line. Nice looking return there. I think that was Ronnie that came down with a stop. Had to make what might have been a touchdown saving tackle across the 40, and there's a hold against Wilkes. So there goes all that good momentum. And this is even worse. From the 22-yard line, it's going to get backed up to the 12 It's a spot foul. Oof. So instead of starting at their own 42-yard line, Wilkes has to start from their own 12 after the holding penalty. So we'll see. Nelson is the receiver to the near side as we get the second half underway. Kelvin Gonzalez in the shotgun with Tabora. 2 receivers to the top for Wilkes here. 1st and 10 from their own 12. Ball on the near side hash. Jose Tabora awaits the snap. 1 second on the play clock, just gets it off. Now looking to the near side, throws a quick out, and that one's caught by Nelson. 22-yard line, tiptoes the sideline to the 24, and it's a first down. First down to the 24-yard line.
First down, Girdle.
Another quick out pass. Nelson able to get down the sideline, pick up an extra 2 yards before falling out of bounds. So 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. 2 receivers to the top. It's Stieber and Yannick. Pistol formation here from Tabora. Blitz coming off the right side. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Now this is Gonzalez moving out to the 30. Nice push. Just beyond the 30-yard line.
Gonzalez goes straight forward for the Colonels.
About a 6, maybe 7-yard pickup.
2nd and 3.
Yeah, it's just beyond the 30, in between the 30 and the 31. So Kelvin Gonzalez, the freshman from Wanacue, New Jersey. 5'11", 185. 2nd and a long 3. 2 to the top. 2 tight end, 1 to either side. Shotgun formation once again for Tabora. He looks to his right, does Tabora, now gets the snap. He's going to roll to his left where he's got his 2 receivers looking downfield. Now launches one downfield, looking for his man Stieber, who gets beyond the safety, but it is incomplete. Tom Peabody, the safety in coverage there, but the pass was a little overthrown and Stieber couldn't quite catch up to it.
That pass incomplete intended for Stieber, 3rd down.
So now it's 3rd and a long 3. Clock stopped at 13:22 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Wilkes got 1 first down on this drive. Can they try to put another one together here on 3rd down? 2 to the near side, 2 to the top. Salas Negron lines up behind Stieber on the near side, and they stack it to the other side as well. Play action, look to the near side to Stieber. Stieber dropped it, it's incomplete. Couldn't quite get his hands to it. He started to move before he could get onto it. I don't even think he was going to be able to get a first down. Salas Negron was trying to throw a block for him, and Wilkes will have to punt away. So Connor Rodarmo, the freshman, will go back to his own 40-yard line. And Despirito's back to punt. He stands at his own 15. So Hartwick holds steady here in the 3rd quarter in the first possession and forces a Wilkes punt. Here's the snap, a little low. Despirito gets this one away. A bit of a wobbler taken by Rodarmo right at his own 39-yard line. And that's where the Hartwick Hawks will take over. 2 touchdowns in their first 2 possessions, but forced to punt on their last 3 of the half. So can Hartwick put something together here? 14-14 the score. Bryce Messina, the sophomore. He's completed 7 passes for 74 yards so far this game. Pistol formation, 2 to the top. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Play action, rolling as Messina steps up in the pocket, now looks, has his man downfield, it's high, and it's incomplete. Looked like it was Devin Fink in coverage back there, intended for Darmetko, but he couldn't come down with it. As he got inside of Fink, but the pass was maybe a little high and falls incomplete. So now 2nd and 10, ball on the 39-yard line. Right to left, Hartwick moving with the football. Getting the call from the sideline from Coach Carr. Next week, Hartwick is home against Alfred State. Wilkes on the road against Lebanon Valley. One receiver to the near side. One at the top. 2nd and 10. Back goes Messina. 4-man rush from Wilkes. All kinds of time in the pocket. Steps up, throws. Jump pass to Darmetko. Is caught in Wilkes territory and down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line.
Territory, good enough for a Hawk first down.
18 yards to the 43-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 43, ball on the far side hash. Right to left as we see it. Hartwick breaks the huddle. Pistol look to receivers near side. This is Messina. Hand off to Ballard, running off that right side, head full of steam, gets to the Wilkes 40 before he's knocked backwards.
Tough run on the right-hand side.
I think that was Bud Moyer that met him on that left side and pushed him back, and there's an injured Wilkes player down. That looks like Justin Trollinger. So the officials call for time. They're going to look at him. Trollinger, a sophomore from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, had only 4 tackles last season, so seeing obviously a lot more action this year. And he's up, and seems to be walking off okay. So 2nd and about 7 coming here. And the officials talking with the Hartwick coaches on the sideline. And now the officials say there's a timeout for Hartwick. Now they had Brian Stickle, the center, was on the near side talking with the coaching staff. I wonder if he was getting looked at. I guess his helmet came off. Somebody's helmet came off. So Hartwick has to burn a timeout here. 14-14 the score, 12-14 to go 3rd quarter. An update from up in Dallas, 23-9 the score. The U.S. Merchant Marines leads Misericordia. Cougars with 3 field goals in that game. But the Merchant Marines out in front. So Wilkes tied at 14 with Hartwick.
The scores from across the way. Virtual Marine Academy 23, Missouri University 9 in 4th quarter.
The opening season, or the opening game here, the 2018 season.
Albernia 21-20 in the 3rd.
2nd and 7 from the 40. And as we're ready on the restart. 2 to the near side, 1 to the top. Messina out of the pistol, back at the 46-yard line. 6 yards off the ball. Low snap, able to get this one away to Ballard, who's hitting the backfield. Somehow gets positive yardage out of it. Gets a yard gain. In on the stop there was Dane Tarantelli.
Tarantelli on the stop.
Now Vinny Bobbin, the sophomore, is in for Trollinger.
Moyer helping out as well.
A sophomore from Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania, 6'1", 225, in at the defensive end spot here. Now it's a big spot for the Wilkes defense. 3rd and 6 after the 1-yard pickup for Ballard. So they've got 1 receiver to the top. Actually, 2 receivers to the top. They've got a tight end and tight near side. Pistol once again. Galasso, the fullback, next to Messina. Another low snap. Back goes Messina. He's got time, though, in the pocket. Steps up. Now he's under duress. He's going to get a first down on the run inside the 30, and he's dragged down near the 26-yard line. Wilkes lost contain Andrew Chang on the stop, but not before Messina gets to the 27. So now Hartwick slowing things down. 11:04 to go here. 3rd quarter. Hartwick moving the football to the Wilkes 27-yard line. Bryce Messina gets the call. and brings it to the Hartwick Hawks offense. Big blow for the Wilkes defense there. Had a good third down and looked like they had everything covered, but Messina breaks contained and gets the first down. Two receivers, one to either side. Another pistol look. Messina, draw play. This one a handoff to Ballard. Runs off the left side, inside the 25. He was met by Moyer, got through his tackle, and got near the 23-yard line. And the officials getting in between the players here, trying to spot the football just inside the 25.
Second down and 7 here for the Hawks.
So 2nd and 7.
4-yard line.
The nose of the ball tickling the 24-yard line. John Crane checking into the game here for Hartwick. Crane is actually in at running back. Maybe Ballard lost his helmet or something. He's off on this play. So Crane at running back, but back goes Messina. Looking downfield now, throws it downfield, and it's almost intercepted. It's dropped. It was in the hands of Amari Peterson, who I think was seeing end zone before it got to his hands.
Third down for the Hawks.
Mucci was the intended receiver on the route to the corner. It was well scouted. Peterson jumped in front of it, but the sophomore started to run before he caught it. So now it's 3rd and 7 from the 24-yard line. Yeah, Ballard was on the bench with his helmet off, but now he's back and standing up. So, one receiver to the top, one to the near side. Pistol look again. Messina goes back. No blitz from Wilkes. They go into coverage, but it's a first down completion inside the 15-yard line. Najir Woods and Andrew Chang were in the neighborhood, but Darmetko makes the catch at the 13 for the first down. Ballard back into the game. So, into the red zone. 9:24 to go here in the third quarter. Prince Gahagan checking into the game. Steve Verkler into the game as well. 2 to the top, 2 to the near side. Pistol again. Ballard behind Messina. 1st and 10 from the 13. Back goes Messina. It's going to be a quarterback run off the right side. Makes the first line of defenders miss. Moyer hits him as he crosses the 10-yard line. And he's down near the 8.
Helping out on the tackle, along with Wood.
So they're going to mark him at the 9. A pickup of around 4 on the play. So a few players shuffling in and out. This has been a good Hartwick drive. 8:34 to go. Hartwick and Wilkes tied at 14. The Hawks knocking on the door here in the third quarter. One receiver to the top, one to the near side. Ballard dots the pistol. Handoff. Ballard running off the left side. Ronnie Ballard inside the 5. He's close. I think he has a first down at the 2.
On the carry, taken down over there by Bobbin.
So it will be 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Hartwick moving. Halsey checking into the game.
First and goal.
The senior tight end. Hartwick waiting for the call from the sideline. They break it. Messina again out of the pistol. Mucci, the only receiver, isolated to the top. Here's the snap, handoff. Ballard right up the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown, Hartwick.
With the touchdown run for the Hawks.
Good-looking drive from the Hartwick Hawks, and Ballard is rewarded with his first touchdown of the game. He's been super effective. And the Hawks reclaim the lead at 20-14 with 7:41 to go in the third. Good-looking drive from Hartwick. Their first drive of the third quarter. On to kick the extra point is Kevin Roberts. They wait the snap, hold up, and that one's good. So 21-14 is now the score.
The extra point,
the Colonels' defense forces a couple third downs, but they couldn't hold up. Hartwick gets into the end zone. And the difference right now is a 7-point lead for the Hawks. So the Colonels got a first down on their first possession of the third quarter, but they couldn't put much more together. So now back to receive. Cadis and Fink await as Roberts places the ball on the 35-yard line. Roberts, a freshman, like his counterpart, David Cutteroff, the kicker for Wilkes, and they're both number 94. Both teams kind of have to hitting the reset button on the kicking game this season. So Roberts has the ball on the 35-yard line, approaches it, puts his right foot to it. A bit of a line drive kick. It's going to bounce at the 16-yard line, picked up by Fink at his own 11. He's across the 25. Fink explodes up the middle. There goes Fink across the 50, trying to beat the kicker. Gets around him and dragged down to the 20-yard line. And I don't see any flags on the field. So just like that, Wilkes deep into Hartwick territory. That's the second big kick return for Fink. And they're going to mark him right at the 20. So Wilkes immediately into the red zone. 7:29 to go here in the third quarter. What a huge return for Devin Fink. So Tabora with Kelvin Gonzalez. We've seen a lot more of him so far in the second half. 3 receivers to the near side. Tabora awaits out of the shotgun. Nelson, Yannick, and Stieber to the near side. Play action, looking quick to the near side. It's Yannick running across the middle inside the 10. He's got a first down. Looks like at the 9-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 9.
First and goal for Wilkes.
First and goal, Colonels.
They love those quick passes. Bryce Harrison checking into the game. So Stieber, the man to the top with Yannick in the slot next to him. Nelson is in isolation near side. Tabora with Gonzalez next to him. Wing with Harrison to his left. First and goal from the 9-yard line. Tabora running. It's going to be a shovel pass to Harrison. Gets inside the 5, spinning, and he's not going to get much more there. Maybe to the 4. So there's a little wrinkle out of the shotgun with Harrison. It's second and goal from the 4. So Harrison remains out there. Justin Deem, the tight end, is out there. And I think they just ran someone else out. So Wilkes breaks the huddle. They got 2, 3 tight ends. There's also Jordan Jones out there. It's I formation with Gonzalez dotting the I. Play action. Tabora rolling, has his man in the back corner. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Justin Deem on the reception.
Justin Deem on the receiving end.
Deem, the junior from Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. The Colonels take advantage of a great kick return by Devin Fink, and Tabora throws his 3rd touchdown pass. Here's the snap, the kick is up and away, and that one is good. So just like that, after a well-put-together Hartwick drive for a touchdown, Wilkes answers with an explosive kickoff return from Devin Fink and a well-executed short drive to get into the end zone. The 4-yard touchdown pass to Justin Deem. So the Colonels and the Hawks, this is a good one. 21 all, 5:57 to play third quarter.
Some scores, Moravian leading Kings 24-0.
Moravian on top of Kings, 24-0. That game in the fourth quarter, in case you can't hear it.
Marshall 44, Lebanon Valley 21.
Franklin and Marshall a 44-21 lead over Lebanon Valley. Wilkes faces Lebanon Valley next weekend. Now that game is an out-of-conference. It counts as an out-of-conference game, even though they're both in the MAC, because the MAC is now 11 teams, and as they're kind of transitioning with the next couple of years, they're allowing teams to schedule conference opponents as non-conference opponents in the first 2 games of the season the next few years to just kind of get things settled before they have to schedule actual non-conference opponents. So next weekend's Lebanon Valley game is a conference opponent, but it's a non-conference game. Confusing, I know. Connor Darmetko picks up the kick from his own 15-yard line, running across the field near the 25. He's dragged down around the 26-yard line. You know, I don't want to be the first to say it, but there haven't been any turnovers yet in this game. Hartwick and Wilkes, 5:50 to go in the third quarter, tied at 21. So Hartwick put together a pretty nice drive. So we'll see if Hartwick can do the same here. Prince Gahagan checking back into the game. It's like Rusty Verkler back out there. And of course Bryce Messina, the sophomore quarterback out of Syracuse, New York. Ron Ballard, the junior from Deposit, New York, has been great. Got the touchdown run on the last drive. Play action to him. Now looking for him right across the middle. He is open across the 30. Has a first down across the 35 near the 36-yard line. Out to the 37. Wilkes sat in coverage, but just kind of let Ballard make that catch in front of the linebackers, and is out to the 37-yard line for a first down. Right to left, Hartwick moving with the football. 5:30 to go, third quarter. Hartwick, another pistol look. 3 to the top, 1 to the near side. Or 2 to the top, 1 to the near side. Actually, they've got 2 to the near side. Someone's in tight. Now, handoff. Ballard gets around one man in the backfield. Now trying to fight his way forward across the line of scrimmage. He's a hard runner. Gets across the 40 to the 41. Andrew Chang had a shot at him, but Ballard ran right through him to get to the 41-yard line. And they might actually give him, they're going to give him the 42. So that's a pickup of 5 there for Ballard. Ronnie Ballard's been running hard for Hartwick in this game. Super effective for the Hawks in this one. 4:33 to go, third quarter. Pistol again, 2 to the top, 1 to the near side. Messina. It's the snap. Blitz coming off the left edge for Wilkes. Messina under some duress, able to get away from it. Runs off to his left side. He's hit by, I think that was Vinny Bobbin on the initial stop. Close to the first down marker again near the 47-yard line. And they get him out to the 48. So it was Wilkes in the first half that was grinding out with some drives. Now it's Hartwick that's doing the same thing in the second half here. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, tied at 21. Hartwick with a 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line, ball on the near side hash. They break the huddle, 2 to the top, 1 to the near side. Messina, pistol with Ballard behind him. Wilkes shifting along the defensive line. Messina trying a quick shot. It wasn't there. Now has to try to throw it and get rid of it. Throws it downfield and out of bounds. I think there was some miscommunication there between him and his receiver. I think he was expecting someone to break to the outside. I think he was expecting someone to break to the outside on a quick hitter, and instead they went downfield. And he was left in no man's land. But he throws it away and out of bounds. It's 2nd and 10 from their own 48-yard line. It was Hartwick that came out in front, 14-0. Wilkes got a couple big stops at a 51-yard touchdown pass before the end of the first half to tie it at 14. Hartwick went right down the field and scored in the second half, but Wilkes got a big kickoff return, was able to put that one through as a bit of a screen pass, falls well short of the intended receiver Ballard, makes it 3rd and 10. Wilkes gets a huge return from Devin Fink, and 3 plays later turns it into a touchdown pass.
On the pressure.
to tie things at 21 here with 3:29. Now Hartwick 3rd and 10 from their own 48-yard line. Can the Wilkes Colonels get a big defensive stop? Messina being called to the sideline. 20 seconds to go on the play clock here. They run Ted Galasso, the sophomore fullback from Mastic Beach, New York, out there. As Coach Mark Carr gives the signal to Bryce Messina. Messina's got 8 seconds on the play clock. Hartwick has to hurry here. They only have 2 timeouts left in this half. Quickly they get to the line with 1. They just get it off. Back goes Messina. Blitz coming from Wilkes. Throws it off to the far side, and it is incomplete. Great coverage by guess who? Devin Fink. It was intended to the outside to Dylan Mucci, but Fink was there to knock it away, and 4th and 10. Hartwick's going to have to punt with 3:23 to go in the third. So it will be Verkler back to punt. And back to receive Jacob Cadis. So the Colonels hold steady on 3rd down. And someone might have jumped from Wilkes. Or there might have been somebody moving for Hartwick. We'll see. The officials going to talk things over. It's been a pretty clean game so far for both teams. Yeah, full start against the Hawks. That's going to back them up 5 yards to the 43. $21 all. 3:23 to go here in the third quarter. So Cadis stands at his own 15-yard line. Here's the snap. They get the punt away. It's a bit of a wobbler off to the right side, and it's going to bounce. Did that touch anybody? I don't think so. It takes a nice Hawks bounce inside the 15-yard line. Perfect punt down to the 12. And that's where it's downed by Hartwick. Scottman was the one that downs it. And now Wilkes will take over deep in their own territory. 3:10 to go. Here in the third quarter. So Tabora and company. 2 to the near side, 1 to the top. Kelvin Gonzalez, we've seen a lot of the freshmen here in the second half. Next to Jose Tabora, the junior from Richland, New Jersey. Stands in the shotgun. Got a wing to his left. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top, 1st and 10 from the 12. Back he goes. He's looking to the near side, a quick out to Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets the edge at the 15-yard line, out near the 20, close to the first down marker. He needs the 22. They're going to give him the 20-yard line, I believe. With 3 minutes to go, third quarter.
Out at the 20-yard line. Second down and 2 for the Colonels.
Yannick running on. Salas Negron running out. So Yannick and Stieber are the receivers to the near side. Wilkes moving left to right. 1 receiver to the top is Nelson. Wing right. Wilkes moving a couple people around. Now it's a wing left. Yannick and Nelson are the 2 receivers to the top. Stieber alone isolated near side. Tabora, play action, looking far. No, he's going to run with it, tucks it instead outside the 25. He's got a first down close to the 27-yard line. So he pumped to Stieber and decided to tuck and run with it. Cuts up the field. 2:17 to go, 1st and 10 from their 27-yard line for Wilkes. Smart play by Tabora there. Harrison checking in here for Wilkes. He brings the play. So Tabora has Nelson in isolation near side. 2 receivers to the top are Stieber and Yannick in the slot. Now Nelson stays in isolation. Harrison, the tight end, near side. They've got another tight end to the top of the formation. Now they bring Nelson in motion out of the shotgun. 1st and 10. Back goes Tabora. Looking. Throws it quickly across the middle. This is complete to Stieber. Stieber trying to cut up the field. He went backwards first. Then went forward across the 30 near the 32-yard line. About a 5-yard pickup.
Gain of 5.
Now Marcin Cabbage has a little bit of a hitch, the center for Wilkes, in his giddy-up, the senior from Hanover Township. He's staying out there for now. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. Shotgun for Tabora, 2nd and 5 with 1:09 to go. Tie game at 21 from his own 32-yard line. Some pressure coming off the left side. Play action. It's going to be a keeper by Tabora. Probably a smart play on the run-pass option there. Gets across the 35. Down near the 36. They need a yard. They're on the 36-yard line. 46 seconds on the game clock, 32 seconds and counting, now 30 seconds on the play clock. So they're going to have, about 11-second differential, they're going to have to run another play. Stieber, isolation to the top. Juan Salas Negro in the isolation near side. And just under center is Tabora. They're just going to run with it, but they might have to blow this one dead anyway. I think someone was either offside or someone moved. I think it's false start against Wilkes. They weren't set. Yeah. Salas Negron was not set, so Wilkes loses 5 yards and makes it 3rd and 6 now from the 31-yard line. They need the 37. So we'll see what Wilkes can do here. Now 20. The game clock is underneath the play clock. Wilkes doesn't have to get the play off here. But I guess they're going to try to. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top. Tabora waits the snap. Some pressure from the edges from Hartwick. They're going to try a quick hitter to Stieber. It was tipped at the line and knocked down incomplete. Wilcox was the one who came on the blitz, hopped up and knocked the pass away from Tabora. And now there's 5 seconds left on the game clock, and Wilkes is going to have to punt away here in the 3rd quarter.
Bring up 4th down for the Colonels.
So DeSpirito is back to punt.
Rodarmel back to.
And it's Connor Rodarmel standing inside his own 40. DeSpirito's punted a couple times today for Wilkes. He stands just outside his own 15-yard line, gets this one away. Nice, high, spiraling punt. Rodarmel backing up at his own 31-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 32. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. That's the final play of the 3rd quarter. We are tied at 21. 4th quarter on the way. But the score is 21-all between Wilkes and Hartwick here on the Wilkes Football Network.
State Farm offers discounts to young drivers for good grades and a positive driving record. Call Frank Sorokoc for more information about these discounts and other ways to reduce the insurance costs for young drivers. Like a good neighbor, Frank Sorokoc State Farm's office is. Check out their new location at 186 East Tioga Street in Tunkhannock. Call 570-836-4000 for Frank Sorokoc State Farm.
So welcome back to Schmidt Stadium. Wilkes on top of Hartwick, Wilkes and Hartwick are tied at 21. The 4th quarter about to get underway. Between the Hawks and the Colonels, Hartwick in possession. Pretty evenly matched game so far between these two teams. 14 first downs for Hartwick, 13 for Wilkes. Hartwick's running better than Wilkes' 148 rushing yards to just 49, but Wilkes passing better, 191 to 114. Colonels couldn't get a win last year, trying to find one in the opening weekend this season. So 1st and 10 for Hartwick. They've got the ball, their own 32-yard line. Left to right as we see it to start the 4th quarter. Rolling Messina near side, throws it high and incomplete. Pass intended for his receiver, Gahagan, but couldn't quite connect there. A little too high for him. 2nd and 10 coming from the 32-yard line. Bryce Messina, 10 of 21, a couple touchdown passes, 114 yards in this game for Hartwick. They break the huddle. They've got 2 to the near side, 1 to the top. Pistol once again. This is Ballard behind Messina. Ball on the far side hash. Back he goes. Looking. Messina quickly over the middle. And it's tipped. And it's caught. It got tipped off one receiver. And it's caught by another. Darmetko trying to run down the sideline. He gets away. Inside the 20. Darmetko into the end zone. Oh, what a huge momentum boost for Hartwick. A 68-yard touchdown pass. So the pass was originally intended for Steinman. It bounced off of his hands between 2 Wilkes defenders and was caught by Darmetko, who spun away from 2 tacklers and suddenly had a lot of green in front of him on the sideline. And he uses that speed to get into the end zone, and Hartwick owns a 27-21 lead. The extra point is good. So now the score is 28-21. Hartwick in front.
Hartwick 28, Wilkes 21.
So the worst thing that could happen for Wilkes at the start of the 4th quarter to give away a big play and a touchdown run. So now Hartwick with a 7-point advantage, barely 20 seconds in to the 4th quarter here. What a huge play for Hartwick. The Hawks needed that. Coach Mark Carr needed that. Now Coach Drock and company have to trot the offense back out there. Can they count on another big return from Fink? I don't think so. It tells me they're going to try to direct this one to Cadis if they can. Roberts has the ball on the 35-yard line. Left to right, Hartwick kicking. A 68-yard touchdown pass. Now the difference between Hartwick and Wilkes. Wilkes has not led all game. A little bit of a line drive, bouncing in front of Cadis. He grabs it around his own 10-yard line. Cadis trying to go up the sideline, tripped up as he crosses the 20 and knocked it out of bounds near the 24-yard line.
Cadis on the return.
So that's where they will mark him. Just at the 24-yard line. We'll see what the Wilkes Colonels offense can put together here. 13 first downs on the day. They've been pretty effective. It's been the Jose Tabora show. He's kind of been the difference maker through the air and on the ground in terms of picking up their first downs. So it looks like Taragna's back in the game. Shotgun alongside Tabora. 2 receivers, 1 to either side. They've got a wing in left. Play action, quick out. That one, a low pass, and it's caught. Yes, they're going to say it. No, they're going to. I think they called it incomplete.
Tabora's pass is incomplete.
Yeah, it was intended for Stieber, but Stieber had to slip to try to catch that one. It was low. So now Wilkes, 2nd and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Clock stops at 14:24 to go here in the 4th quarter. So they've got 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. Shotgun. Tabora. Taragna alongside him. It's the snap, play action. Back he goes, under some duress. Steps up into the pocket. Now looking downfield. Has his man Yannick. Great coverage, and it's broken up. John Julis was right underneath him. Step for step with Yannick. It was open briefly. He closed the gap and knocked it away.
3rd down and 10 for the Colonels.
And now Wilkes in trouble. 3rd and 10 from their own 24-yard line. 14:16 to go. Stieber, deep man near side, Yannick in the slot. Nelson is in isolation to the top of the formation. Another shotgun with Tabora. Taragna next to him. 3rd and 10 from the 24-yard line. Jose gets the snap. Back he goes. Token pressure from Hartwick. Steps up in the pocket, throws it, and it's complete to Nelson just beyond the first down marker, out near the 36-yard line. Excuse me. A 12-yard pickup. And a huge conversion there for Wilkes. Needed that one. So Jones checking into the game here for Wilkes. He brings the play in. Salas Negron, the near side. Ermias, the near side as well. 3 receiver set. 2 to the near side, 1 to the top. To Ragnar next to Tabora. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Ball on the far side hash. Right to left for Wilkes. They throw it across the middle, and it was knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Second time that's happened for Josh Wilcox. He came a little delayed on that one, stunted a bit, jumped up and knocked it away. So the ball on the 36-yard line for Wilkes. Stieber coming back in. Yannick returning to the game as well. So Wilkes breaks the huddle. 2 to the top, 2 to the near side. 4 receiver set. Tabora with Taragna next to him. 2nd and 10 from the 36. He awaits the snap. Some pressure coming up the middle from Hartwick. Here it comes. Tabora escapes, gets out to the right, looking downfield, has to run with it, gets across the 40. The ball came out, but I think he was out of bounds. I don't know, the officials haven't signaled anything yet. I think they're going to say it's, and now they're blowing it dead, as I think, is it Tabora that's down? There's a Wilkes player down on the sideline. And we're trying to get confirmation as to who is down. It's not Tabora. It was Yannick. So Yannick out there blocking for Tabora got hit and knocked down. So Tabora, I guess, fumbled, but it went out of bounds, it looks like. At least the ball came out late, but Wilkes retains possession. The ball's on the 40. It's now 3rd and 6 from the 40-yard line. Ball on the far side hash. Wilkes moving right to left. 13-14 to go. 2 receivers near side. Shotgun again. Play clock winding down. Tabora rolls to his left. Throws it up in the air looking for his man. It's caught by Salas Negron. How about that? Salas Negron comes down with it inside the Hartwick territory at the 46-yard line. What a huge play for Juan Salas Negron, a freshman from Lawrence Station, Pennsylvania. Another big 3rd down conversion for Wilkes. And they've got a 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Stieber and Salas Negron go to the top of the formation. 2 receivers to the near side. So 4 receivers set. Shotgun once again for Jose Tabora. Hartwick showing some pressure up the middle. Here they come with it. Running off that right side is Tabora. He's got some space across the 40. A 6-yard pickup.
Just across the 40-yard line.
And there is a player down. Is that for Hartwick? Not sure if that's Wilcox or not. As he's getting looked at, Wilcox, the senior from Ithaca, New York, 65 tackles last season, 8.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks last season for Hartwick. One of the better returning defensive players. Both teams not really returning a ton of starters from last season. Really any of those starters coming from the defensive end. But Wilcox is up. He seems all right. He's walking off under his own power. So Wilkes, 2nd and 4 from the 40-yard line. Yannick, good to see him back out on the field for Wilkes. He seems okay after being shaken up a few plays ago. He's in the slot near side. Stieber is the man to the bottom of the formation. Looks like it's Nelson to the top in isolation. They got a tight end to the top as well. Tabora, 2nd and 4 from the 40-yard line. To Ragnar next to him. Some pressure. Hartwick showing off the edge. They back off now for it. Tabora waits from the 40-yard line. 4 seconds on the play clock. Gets it. Here comes the pressure. Throws it to the edge. It's caught. 1st down inside the 35-yard line. Complete to Jones.
Good enough for another.
So that one complete to Jordan Jones, the sophomore tight end. And Marcin Cabbage, yeah, he was hobbling before, and he's gonna go to ground here. The training staff's gonna have to get a look at him. So the center, Marcin Cabbage, senior from Hanover Township, not too far away from where we are here in, I guess, technically Edwardsville, just outside of Wilkes-Barre. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line for Wilkes, but the clock stops at 11:35. Marcin Cabbage, 6'2", 280. So he's going to have to come out and get looked at. Now Nicholas Kabula, the 5'11" sophomore from Shippensburg, is listed as the backup. And it looks like he's out there. So Kabula will take over the center duties right now as they get a look at Marcin Cabbage. 2 to the near side for Wilkes. 2 tight ends, 1 to either side. Shotgun formation. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. 11:18 to go. Tabora gets the snap, handoff to Taragna, beats the first wave of defenders that got into the backfield, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Patrick Schedule on the stop, the junior. He got into the backfield. Taragna got right by him, and then he recovered on it. A 1-yard pickup for Taragna. 2nd and 9 from the 30-yard line. So Stieber and Salas Negron going to be to the near side. It's Nelson to the top. 3 receivers set. Shotgun once again for Tabora. Taragna next to him. 2nd and 9 from the 30. Moving right to left. Wilkes trails 28-21. A throw to Salas Negron on a little bit of a wide receiver screen across the 25. He's hit as he crosses the 25. Near the 24-yard line. So 3rd and about 3 coming up here for Wilkes. They need the 21. They're on the 24. Wilkes has converted a couple 3rd downs on this drive. Justin Deem checking in. Kelvin Gonzalez into the lineup here as well. So Stieber and Yannick to the top of the formation. Nelson near side. Gonzalez next to Tabora. Deem, the tight end, to the top of the formation. 3rd and 3 from the 24-yard line. Tabora running off the right side. Now tries to run up the middle of the field, trying to get behind his blockers. He is going to be about 1.5 yards shy.
Tabora,
I think here.
The sticks. He's got to be shy. 4th down.
4th and 1 coming up for Wilkes with 9:35 to go, and Wilkes quickly getting to the line. Wilkes trying to get set. They are set. Tabora has it. Runs off the right side. Did he get there? The effort. Second effort might have got it. He was hit initially. He got away from it, and I think he's got a 1st down. Yes. That's the call. Hackett, I think, was the one that hit him. The leading tackler returning for Hartwick. He got through Hackett's tackle attempt. Used that second effort to push forward, and it's a 1st down. The ball just outside the 20-yard line. So Wilkes continues to move. 9:10 to play. They trail 28-21. 3 to the near side. 1 to the top. Gonzalez next to Tabora. Out of the shotgun. He waits. Low snap. Able to pick it up. Back goes Tabora. Sets up a screen. This one to Gonzalez. Gonzalez cannot get much further than the 19-yard line as Schedule comes up to make the stop. It was a dangerous play because the snap was low. Tabora was under duress, but somehow they get positive yardage out of that. So the ball to the 18-yard line. Juan Salas Negron brings the play in. So it's Stieber, Juan Salas Negron, and Yannick. To the top, it's Ermias. He's in isolation. 4 receivers set. Gonzalez to the left of Tabora. Now he shifts to the right out of the shotgun. Tabora back. 2nd and 8. Looking. Running out of time. Has to loft this one towards the end zone. Has Stieber. Stieber makes the catch, but he does not come down in bounds. Stieber's got good hands, but he just couldn't come down with it, and Stieber looks like he's in some pain. And he has to take a knee in the end zone. And they're going to take a look at him. I think the training staff here. Stieber goes down. 3rd and 8 from the 18-yard line coming for Wilkes. Ball kind of in the middle of the field. Stieber has had some great catches in this game, but a couple of them, unfortunately, have come at the expense of not getting his feet in bounds. Quickly gets up and runs off the field while dropping his water bottle. Runs back to grab that. 8:04 to go. So we're coming up on the midway point of the fourth quarter. 28-21. A 68-yard touchdown pass. The difference in this game. So Wilkes quickly has to run. Shotgun, 3rd and 8. Tabora. Gonzalez next to him. 2 seconds on the play clock. Back he goes. Pressure up the middle. Throws it. Corner. Looking, and it's incomplete. Had his intended receiver open. Salas Negron couldn't come down with it, and now we'll see what Wilkes does here. As I think they're going to bring DeSpirito out.
Down on the turf, 4th down.
DeSpirito is going to come out to try to kick a field goal, it looks like, as there's an injured Hartwick player down. So that's Tom Peabody, the senior from Hoosick Falls, New York, one of the safeties for this team. Down and getting looked at by the training staff. Had 34 tackles last season, 24 solo tackles. 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and an interception for Hartwick on defense last year. This has been an entertaining game at Schmidt Stadium. Overcast, cool, which is what we need in northeastern Pennsylvania. It's been kind of hot the last few days. You can hear Wilkes in action next week at Lebanon Valley. 1 o'clock kick down at Arnold Field. The Colonels and Lebanon Valley in action there. So this is DeSpirito on to kick the field goal. A 35-yard field goal lined up right in the middle of the field. So Wilkes going to kick it. Moving right to left. Here it is. This one up, and it is good. Alex DeSpirito, the sophomore from Crestwood, nearby in Mountaintop, puts that one through from 36. And that makes it 28-24. So Wilkes inches a little closer here. Now Wilkes has all 3 timeouts remaining. Hartwick had to burn one in the 3rd quarter early. So they only have 2 remaining. But Hartwick has been moving the ball well offensively. And their 68-yard touchdown pass has them up by 4 right now. Connor Darmetko, the happy recipient of a pass that was tipped from Jack Steinman. Darmetko back to receive alongside Devin Brown. And now Devin Brown has to run out as Matt Scottman. Maybe he was late getting a helmet on. So it's Scottman that's out to receive along with Darmetko. They stand inside their own 10-yard line. Cutter off has the ball placed at the 35-yard line. Cutter off approaches, puts his foot to it, and it is end-over-end kick taken by Darmetko at his own 11-yard line. He's spun down just as he crosses the 20. Wilkes flying to the football. Najir Woods among the Colonels on the stop. So now Wilkes, the defense needs to step up. They trail by 4, 7:48 to play 4th quarter here. Hartwick had a nice touchdown drive to start the 3rd quarter. Had a 68-yard touchdown pass on their last possession. Wilkes puts together a nice drive to get a 36-yard field goal. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. Pistol formation with 7:48 to go. 1st and 10 Back goes Messina, looking down the middle, now throws it short, it's complete, and it's a first down out across the 35 near the 37-yard line for Ron Ballard. Ballard has been effective in every phase of the game, receiving and running for Hartwick so far. 1st and 10 from the 37. Ted Galasso running out, the fullback. He replaces Prince Gahagan, who comes off. So 1st and 10 from the 37. Left to right, Hartwick moving with the football. One receiver near side, one at the top. Pistol look again. Galasso next to Bryce Messina. Messina, handoff, Ballard running right up the middle. He's got a first down. He's into Wilkes territory, and he's down around the 42-yard line. That Wilkes defense just opened up in the middle, and he gets to the 43 in an instant. So Ronnie Ballard with a nice run there. Under 7 to play. 28-24 the score. One receiver to the near side, one to the top. Another pistol look. Messina. Galasso next to him. Low snap. He's able to get on top of it. Hand off to Ballard. This time he's hit as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard. They're going to mark him at the 42-yard line. A gain of 1. Dane Tarantelli getting credit for the stop. Vinnie Werner trotting off here. A couple of juniors in the middle there for Wilkes. Damon Barheit out there now. Derek Schneider. Zach Jones along the defensive line. Coach mentioned a lot of rotating with the defensive line. 2nd and 9 from the 42-yard line. Messina looking to pass. Throws it out. Quick out to Mucci. He gets away from one defender, but he can't get away from the second, as Murphy closed quickly at the 37-yard line. That's a pickup of about 5. And that makes it 3rd and what looks to be about 4. They need the 33-yard line. They're on the Wilkes 37-yard line. Near side hash, moving left to right. So Gahagan checks into the game, so maybe a little more speed out there now as they bring the sophomore fullback Galasso out. Bryce Messina, the 6'1", 200-pound sophomore, gets the call from the sideline. He's going to have Gahagan up top with Mucci. Near side, it's going to be Darmetko in a little tight. Back goes Messina, 3rd and 4, rolling to his right and throws it. It's complete, and it's close to a first down. Coming down with that was Ballard. It was thrown behind him. Depends on the spot here. And they say that is a first down. The officials mark it as such. A huge play right where they needed to get to, the 33-yard line. Right at the first down marker. Messina was rolling to his right, had to throw back across his body to Ballard and completes it. Now Hartwick can roll some more time off the clock. 4:40 to go. They lead 28-24. One to the top, one to the near side. They bring Galasso back in. Ballard dots the pistol here. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Low snap, a handoff. Ballard running off the left side. Escapes one tackler. He's down close to the 20-yard line. And a flag comes out as Darmetko got in a shoving match with Amari Peterson. Now the officials are going to talk things over here. And here's the call. Personal foul against Darmetko. A 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. So they have the ball spotted at the 25. So instead of a 2nd and 2, that thing's going to move back to the 40-yard line. And be 2nd and 17. So that's a huge penalty against Hartwick here with 4:20 to go. So 2nd and 17 now. One receiver near side, one to the top. Messina. Galasso next to him. Hartwick leads 28-24. Back goes Messina. Wilkes, token pressure. Messina all day into the pocket. Up high, looking for his man. Mucci can't come down with it with one hand. In coverage was Shane Montague. And he stayed with Mucci there. So now it's 3rd and 17 from the 40-yard line. Clock stops at 3:53. So Wilkes has been burned a few times by underneath passes to Ballard. Can they hold tight here? Mark Carr, the head coach and offensive coordinator for Hartwick, his 17th year at the helm, putting out the signals to Bryce Messina. 2 to the top, 1 to the near side, and Wilkes is going to use their first timeout. 3:53 to go in the game. And Wilkes wants to burn their first timeout to talk things over. 3rd and 17 coming for Hartwick. McCarthy Tire Service has been there for generations of families for the highest quality in tire service and scheduled maintenance. With over 50 locations along the East Coast, our family is growing with yours. We're one of the top independent retail dealers in the United States. You can visit us at any of our service centers in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, Hazleton, or Williamsport. Service your vehicle with a family you can trust. Make your family a part of the next generation of McCarthy Tires. Visit them on the web at mccarthytire.com. Tom Ferguson here on YouTube Live with the John Mendola Show, bringing you Wilkes football. And, of course, at the Wilkes Athletics website, wilkesathletics.com and gowilkesU.com. I'm glad you can join us for the opening season here in Division III football. The Colonels. A new era under head coach Jonathan Drock, his first season at the helm for Wilkes, and this has been the kind of game you want your first game. 28-24, Hartwick in front, 3rd and 17 from the Wilkes 40-yard line. Pistol, Ballard behind Messina. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the near side. Back goes Messina. 3-man rush from Wilkes. They almost get to him. Now he rolls out to his right. Messina looking downfield, throws it, and it's caught. Did he get a foot in? Yes! First down near the 20-yard line. That's Rusty Verkler. We haven't heard much from him all game except punting, and he picks up a huge first down inside the 20-yard line at the 19.
1st and 10, Hawks at the 19.
Wow, what a play by Rusty there. How did he get a foot in? It looked like Wilkes had Messina strung out, but his pass is caught by Verkler streaking across the field. And now a fresh set of downs for Hartwick with 3:22 to go. 1st and 10, ball in the near side hash into the red zone for Hartwick on the 19-yard line. Low snap, they're going to hand it off to Ballard running off the left side. He's met as he crosses the 15.
Ballard on the carry.
So Hartwick going to try to bleed some clock here. A pickup of 4.
Give him 4, 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 now for the Hawks. Hartwick, Alfred State next week. They're going to be at King's College in 2 weeks, so they're coming back to Wilkes-Barre. King's College had a tough game against Moravian today. 1 receiver near side, 1 on the top. Pistol again for Messina. Galasso next to him. Dotting it is Ballard. Ballard has been Hartwick's bludgeon so far in this game. 2nd and 6, and it's going to be a draw play to Ballard. Great execution off the left side, but better job running after it was Andrew Chang, who read that and prevented what might have been a touchdown there.
Ballard on the carry, Moyer and Fink over there.
So he gets from the 15 to the 12 or so. Makes it 3rd and about 2, it looks like. They're going to give him the 11. 3rd and 2 from the 11-yard line. Under 2 minutes to play. 28-24 is the score. Hartwick on top, has the ball, and can start to put this thing away if they pick up another 3rd down here. Wilkes trying to hang on to their timeouts as long as they can. They only have 2 remaining. 1:40 to go. Need a defensive stop if you're Wilkes. 2 receivers near side. Pistol, and Hartwick's got to burn a timeout because they were slow getting out of the huddle. So Hartwick has to call timeout. So this is an important part of the game here. 28-24, 1:35 to go. A little over 90 seconds to play. Hartwick leads.
Academy defeats Misericordia University 30-9.
So the Merchant Marines 30-9 over Misericordia.
Vernia.
That one coming from Dallas.
26-20, 1 over Gallaudet.
How about that? Alvernia 26-21 over Gallaudet. Their first win in program history.
Moravian shut out Kings today, 24-0.
And mentioned Kings having a tough one against Moravian. 24-0.
Susquehanna 38, Lycoming 7. That's now a final.
And they just announced Lycoming falling to Susquehanna in their first opener. First games of the 2018 season. So Wilkes trying to hold off here. They need to stop. They need the ball in their offense's hand. They've got a minute 35 to try to figure it out. But they got to get a stop first. Two receivers near side. Tight end to the top. Pistol once again for Bryce Messina. Ballard dots the I. Golasso next to Messina. Here's the snap. The handoff. Ballard right up the middle. He's got a first down. Close to the 6-yard line. A pickup of around 5 with 90 seconds to play. And now Wilkes has to call timeout. So the Colonels need to call timeout. So Hartwick, I would think here, they've got a first and goal from the 5-yard line. They've got one timeout remaining. Wilkes has one timeout. Hartwick can sit on this if they want to. So this thing is essentially over. But I think there's a lot of positives Wilkes can take away, even in a loss here, 28-24. Third downs, they seem to convert well. They just seem to overall to play a lot more together and a lot tougher than maybe they were showing last season. This has been a good opener, I would say, for Wilkes in spite of the score. So Hartwick, we'll see what they're going to do here. Remember, they can just kneel on this thing. Wilkes only has one timeout remaining. Ballard out there, Darmetko, Mucci, along with Golasso. .90 seconds to play. And they're going to run the play here. Pistol, first and goal from the 5. Handoff, Ballard running off the right side. Stopped initially, gets across the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him.
Ballard goes forward to around the 5-yard line.
They're going to mark him, I think, right at the line of scrimmage. So second and goal. And Wilkes burns their last timeout with a minute 25 to go. So minute 25 remaining. 28-24. Hartwick leads Wilkes. Here's we're winding down in game 1 of the 2018 season. A couple other scores from this weekend so far. Frostburg State 34-7 over Stevenson. That game was on Thursday night. Rowan 41-34 over Widener in a wild one. Salisbury beat Albright 48-14. FDU Florham got their first win early, 35-21 over the College of New Jersey, and Del Val fell against ranked Wesley College 34-10. As I mentioned, Moravian 24-0 over Kings, and the Merchant Marines 30-9 over Misericordia. That one up in Dallas. So here we are, 28-24. Hartwick in front of Wilkes, $1:25 to play. And Hartwick's going to line up in the victory formation. But they're going to do it out of the shotgun. So Messina gets the snap, waits, and then kneels. It's always dangerous when they wait like that, but he kneels down. It's going to make it third and goal. And the clock is going to roll. 1:13 to play here. So 1:05 to go. The clock is rolling. 28 seconds on the play clock as we approach a minute to play here. So Hartwick can just kind of bleed clock. 48 seconds to play. They've got 12 seconds as they break the huddle once again. Messina awaits the snap. So a big win for Hartwick on the road here against Wilkes in what was a great football game. They get the snap. They nail it down. And that will be the last play of the game. Hartwick College three times jumped out to the lead. Wilkes twice came back to tie it. They couldn't do it the third time. And Hartwick wins 28-24 as things wind down here at Schmidt Stadium. I think the Colonels, in spite of the loss, sure they're going to be disappointed. But that's the kind of game you want to have after an 0-10 season. You want to come back and you want to play hard and play well against a good Hartwick team. So Wilkes disappointed to come away with a loss, but a lot of positives coming out of this one. 28-24 the final. Hartwick takes it over Wilkes. So stick around for the post game here. We'll give you some of the stats and our player of the game, who we think really stood out for Wilkes in this one, as the Colonels fall 28-24 to Hartwick. Don't forget Lebanon. That's our next game, and we'll have that for you, the audio of that game, next Saturday down at Arnold Field at Lebanon Valley College. Game first kick around 1 o'clock with that one between the Colonels and Lebanon Valley. They've got a couple road games actually, because I think they have to go to Delaware Valley the next weekend, does Wilkes, on September 15th before they come home to take on their rivals up the road, Misericordia, on September 22nd. That's the next home game here from Schmidt Stadium. So the final 28-24, a nice win for Wilkes, or excuse me, a nice win for Hartwick. Some final stats to give you here. Messina 15-27, 227 yards, 3 touchdowns for Hartwick. So he was impressive for them. Running the football, Ron Ballard, 25 carries, 173 yards, and a touchdown for Hartwick. He was super effective running the football. Jose Tabora, a great game, 22 of 38, 234 yards, and 3 scores. Stieber, 7 catches, 103 yards, and a pair of touchdown catches for him. Tabora, the high man in terms of running the football, 13 attempts for 63 yards. He was effective. I would imagine he's the player of the game for Wilkes in this one. A final 28-24. It's Hartwick over Wilkes. Thanks for joining us on the Wilkes Football Network on YouTube Live with the John Mendola Show, and of course on the Wilkes Athletic website. We'll be back next week with audio of the game between Lebanon Valley and Wilkes. We'll have that for you here on YouTube Live and on the Wilkes Athletic website. I'm Tom Ferguson. Thanks so much for joining us. You've been listening to Wilkes Football on the Wilkes Football Network.